Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and
75?
start running the recording. So let's see. It's not X because he's top of my list. So let's
Loth,
see.
maybe?
Well, how much duty do you have, X?
I have 20. Let me just
20.
change top to my
Loth,
tab.
how much duty do you have?
20
I have
duty.
20.
Okay, so
I have
it's
15
20,
actually.
20, okay,
I'm,
so
I'm
15,
at the top.
and then plus 20 is the next step.
Everyone besides Axe has 20.
So that's 75.
So another 30 is 65. So yeah, we are at Aramaa's duty, combat victory.
Yay.
Thinking about winning stuff. Everybody gets plus 1 wound threshold, except Aramaa, who gets 2. By the way, we're rolling. Hi. It's technically not almost 9:30 at night, but not really.
It's like
And
8.
it should not have taken that long, but there was a lot of faffing going on there.
Well, I'll say it again.
Hello?
We hear
Yes,
you fine.
we hear you.
Okay. So yeah, sorry about that, but I guess on the plus side, for some reason my hair has managed to somehow form into the adoring fans hairstyle.
The what?
Ever played Oblivion?
Yeah, I played Oblivion. but
I
that
need
was
that emote even more.
By Azure, you're the grand champion!
I need a picture of this fucking hairstyle.
No, I've never played Oblivion.
Same.
I played Oblivion. I didn't get far in it.
My first Elder Scrolls was Skyrim.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
it somehow
my mic cord
managed
is
to
secured.
collect
Yeah,
in the
Kavis
middle of
grounded.
point upwards.
Kavis,
Well,
super
we'll work on that. Anyway, we're around minute 30 and hey, well, patrons like the Hogger Comics, the Squad, the Jeremy Vasquez, the Kylie Den, the Nestor Force, the Sonoso over 2 for the Shiny P, the Rogue Robin, and the Video Gamer 75. I completely fucked up the alphabet.
We're all running at half caffeine.
But who
so,
cares? Let's
we're
go.
running at
It's
half
9:30 at
caffeine.
night.
It's time to investigate shit!
So I
Yes.
posted bad
Prime
words earlier.
time!
Okay.
Sitting here doing nothing, so it's fun.
Right, what did we choose last time?
Oh, right.
Does
Shit,
it? Was it perception or streetwise or skullduggery? If not, probably doesn't matter. Though
I have
will
to wait
say,
till I get my until I get the veteran trees
this
where I
time-
actually do that because it'll be a class skill.
Oh, we're investigating some. Oh, right. we're
Yes,
investigating
you decided
crime.
you're gonna solve crimes today. Maybe.
Yeah,
we're gonna look for cues of Dr. Gravanac, the chemist.
Luckily, we did dig up the so-called GM Holocron, which is a fan-made PDF that collects all the bonus rules, and I'm like, holy shit, this is exactly what I need.
What?
Nice.
You don't remember this?
Yeah.
This is the thing.
No, I
It's got all
don't.
the stuff in it.
Oh, yeah, and has the
I posted it a
including the
couple
bone
times.
stuff for, like...
I don't know if I got it was another link, so I don't know if I got it
Fortune
again.
battle with that critical injury.
Oh yeah, it's got
for-
everything in it, so it has that.
Oh, okay.
You're slowing me down. High speed, low drag, everybody. Lower your drag. Get faster.
I got point blank 1 and range light 2.
No, too slow. Don't care. Nyum.
I got a
thought
bunch of
it was
enhanced.
perception
Go.
too.
But yeah, that's good, because that actually has the rules for investigating in it, which is important.
I picked up Deadly Accuracy ranged heavy, so I do more damage.
Perfect. All of those things you said actually matter tonight. Great. Anyway, okay. Well, for the audio, we should say that we've calculated and realized we have 6 light, 2 dark.
Yes.
And we did.
Right.
I think I caught the duty in there somewhere. We did our duty conversation, so that's
Yeah.
been procced.
Oh, yeah, Aramaa gets 2.
We have decided that you guys want to jump to investigating first.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Marth has brought up a very good point. Kavis is still a little hurt. And that's probably gonna stick because I'm imagining. Well, everybody gets back 1 wound
Yeah.
from a night's rest, basically.
So that's 2 wounds.
So I'm pretty sure though that because the way we talked about how this is gonna go with like urgency and stuff, we're not necessarily gonna sit around and like do anything. Not that 2 wounds is really a big deal. It's not like you've got any crits or anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
You just
2 wounds
need
is
to-
not that bad. That's like...
But yeah, okay. So, basically to refresh everybody on the thing, you guys met a doctor, you really liked his voice, it's a terrible shame he got stabbed and died. You thought he was involved in some crime stuff, and I thought you mathematically proved ipso facto via his confession and also some other stuff.
It was really boring.
So, yeah, I think I think we got all the pregame stuff out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we start. I don't know at dawn 100. Everybody gets up. Cav has to go do lines in the schoolroom. No, not really, but there's there's a certain amount of Cav needs to do something to like make up for the fact. Probably not a harsh punishment because he was shot up a bunch by super battle droids, but definitely like some like we're gonna make him sit in the rock garden and juggle paperweights or something. I don't know.
What?
Something to,
I had to go. I
something to
just
something
here
to
for a
fill
moment.
your time. Yeah, because
Okay.
Not just stay in bed strapped to it.
that's not gonna work. Also,
Hang
no,
on.
that's not what he needs. That's not good for healing. Being strapped to things. It's actually quite bad for you. Keeps you very tense. That's like an emergency only if you're rattling around.
Right.
Yeah, muffled smoke bomb. He was that guy. But I don't know. Maybe it just makes sense. It's like, okay, kid, you're staying home today. We're gonna go do war stuff. You have to stay at the base, which means
Yeah.
solving crimes. And
Yeah.
the Jedi nurse, does not give you a lollipop. The worst pain. All right.
Oh no.
But yeah, basically, you guys are gearing up for what will be the first battle of Karlani Valley after some stuff happens. But we decided to let that sit for a while so that you can get all your stuff together, and you're gonna investigate the crime first. There's a preliminary report from some top men who presumably look like this complete incompetent from the Clone Wars.
That is a lot of head.
He has a big
that
head.
asshole.
He has a big head, and he's a little bit nasally, and he kind of talks like this. Oh, he's a
Oh,
national
no.
senator, and he's real bad at his job. He's awful.
Why do
4
we keep
amateur
him?
senators solve the crime better than this guy. But yeah, so basically,
Damn kid shit writing.
you've been there's preliminary reports. He was stabbed to death with a sharp object. There's no immediate forensic evidence of the perpetrator on hand. There's nothing obvious, like they poked it with the everything scanner, there were no fingerprints. There's no mysterious blood splatters. There's just the normal one. So there's 5 pieces of evidence.
Oh.
5. You've got the body, which can be done over, because you don't... Basically, we're doing CSI Soholiv today.
Great.
So you guys can take another crack at the body. One of you has medicine that might actually be... Actually, a couple of you have medicine that might actually be helpful. Though, if there's not a fucking forensics toolkit in this thing somewhere, I'll eat my hat. Because there's a fucking kit for everything.
It's like
I
you
may have
get-
updated
you
my
get-
L5R items, so there's even more kits for that. It's the same in that game. Goddamn kits. Just
Inquisitive.
crawling kits.
Oh, except
So-
for forensics.
But yeah, so there's the body, because I don't know, medical droid probably poked it and some guy signed off on it, but nope. Nobody's set up for forensics here, so you want to look at that yourself. There's a murder
Right.
weapon.
Oh?
Well, yeah, there's a knife in him.
Oh,
They
left
didn't
it.
take their knife
Oh,
back.
as I said, they left the one thing.
Correct.
Scan
I
that
thought
for
that was
fingerprints.
cleared before. No, there's a knife.
No.
Spooky knife. There's the crime scene, the scene of the
Go.
crime, the place where the crime happened, which was his lab at night. There's his personal effects. Basically, he had a room somewhere and some stuff that you could look at. You could see what he'd been doing. And then you can examine base security records, because while you don't have holocams or anything set up, because they're very expensive, in case you can't tell, it's like, to get it for like a building, it's like 10k credits, so to fill a whole base with it is probably kind of pricey. That is technically a base upgrade, though. Even though I bet,
Right.
knowing this game, it's the same for your fucking business as it is for your base, even though one of those things is not the same size as the other.
Also, whatever Omega says like an hour ago, I have forgotten.
Fair enough.
Oh, excuse me. This is why I have to write things down.
Yeah, I'll give you the list in a second. But
That's
so,
why I have you guys.
even though there's holocams, there's not holocams, I should say, there's still some level of security. There's like, you could check like access logs and computers and stuff and be like, hey, anything weird stick out? And so, those are your pieces of evidence. I assume that you have some kind of order you want to go in. Alright, go solve
Yeah.
crimes.
Alright,
Okay.
well, let's start with the body.
Alright, we
Sure.
smash cut to the morgue, which is really just probably the refrigerated section of medical. There's probably a basic medical droid here. he talks like this, and he's ready to give you some notes. There's a dead guy on the slab. He's been pre-autopsied, so he's got the... well, I don't know if they got a Y cut, but we'll say there's a Y cut. It's like every crime procedural TV show.
Yes.
There's
I feel bad, but
Okay,
I feel bad.
something there?
I feel
What?
bad, but I kind of want to ask questions about the weapon. But I guess we'll wait.
Well, not right now. We do them in order.
One at a time, dude.
The body first.
Unless you...
Well,
Good.
there's 5 pieces of evidence. I assume you'll get to all of them. Are
Yeah.
you going to solve a crime on one thing? Oh, shit. We're going to use necromancy and talk to this guy's ghost, and he's going to tell... No.
That's dark side.
Oh, shit. Nobody looked at his hand. He's got a note here that says a fucking basilisk did it. No.
Pretty sure I can guess the age, height, and race of the person who was wielding it.
No,
Has
I
this
don't think
happened
any of you...
before?
There's a special talent called, like, Scene of the Crime or something if you want to fucking Sherlock some shit. I don't think any of you have that one.
No.
Has
I
any
don't
of
think
this
any of you have
happened
that
to you?
specialization
Have any of
for
those
that
suggestions happened to you or something?
No, they're just murder mystery fucking tropes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the basilisk thing was a direct reference to Harry Potter, where
Yeah.
Hermione gets petrified, and she's got the fucking library book page in her hand, which nobody has found yet. Only our dorkish protagonist can find it. But yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just like every police procedural. There's a big white light which conveniently covers his junk from the screen because this is a TV PG.
Can we get bumped up to 14? And that still wouldn't let you see.
We've had
Maybe.
some like pretty gruesome scenes happen.
But were they to people?
Ah, that's true.
I mean, we've had some people just randomly die, and we've had like emotional. We've had
No,
like
that's all. That's all parental guidance. It's not
Yeah.
Y7 or anything. It's not for kids. But anyway,
All right. Anyway,
he
so
did.
Yes.
let's get the report from the droid. Now let's
All right.
see here.
Yes, ma'am. The report is as follows. Cause of death was... What's the actual...
Hemorrhaging?
Yeah, probably he'd say. Hemorrhaging a result of a wound with an edged weapon, which I believe is evidence item 001.
Okay. Let's see here. Well, let's...
No pre-existing medical conditions. Subject appeared to be suffering from a lack of sleep, and may have had an addiction to stimcaf.
Okay. Let's see here. Well,
There's probably some other shit because this was right after his makeshift smoke bomb, so there's probably some weird dust on his hands,
mhm.
and he had some bruised ribs from where somebody rugby tackled him.
Space rugby.
He was tackled from both sides.
All right. Well, I guess like I said, I'm no player character is no forensics expert, but where he got stabbed, and let's see if he has any self-defense wounds or anything.
Yes.
Let's
All
see if he
Okay.
put up a fight or if he even saw it coming.
So this will be medicine, and we'll
I'll
call
do
it
that.
an average check.
I'll do that.
Can
The
I
droid's
help him?
conclusions is that there are no obvious defensive wounds, but you're gonna do your own examination.
Oh,
What
cool.
the fuck?
Hmm.
I'm not even gonna. I can't even get it. I can't even.
I don't have any points in it. I
Hey,
didn't know
Marth,
they
we both got a triumph.
Well,
Wow.
I'm looking over the
Okay,
report.
damn.
Right, I'm looking over the report.
All right,
I'll
you're
look
looking
over
at a data
one.
pad.
Mhm.
So, fucking CSI Zoom, some fucking pop music that no one will ever hear again outside of this one episode plays, and sometimes it's really
Oh, that's
catchy.
a thing. Aw.
Oh, that's totally a thing for police procedurals. If we're gonna do like a montage, we'll just grab some cheap pop song license.
And it's totally unfitting, too.
I was asking where it was a Clone Wars thing, but okay.
No, this isn't about Clone Wars. This is all about police procedurals, which I have watched a lot of. I watch crime shows.
Let me see.
Also,
Royalty
yes.
free
You're
pop
the criminal
music.
law major, so
I've only watched like parts of
Yeah, Boots is good at medicine, is what we're hearing. Okay, so
crime scene.
successes. You're primarily looking for clues on the body.
Yeah.
Let me actually look for what the investigation section is.
what are those triumphs could be used for?
Well, we'll figure that out. Investigations, page 39. Let's see what I got. Getting information. Okay, so there's a chart for this. There's not a specific triumph one, but that kind of works. Alright, well, base success. So, clue-wise, you clueify, check. Yeah, that gives things, he makes boats. Success on the medicine check is just, yes, you confirm what was reported, cause of death, single stab wound to the torso. Looks like it got him in the heart or a major artery without, like, you're not doing anything invasive, obviously, but center of mass, got something important, he bled out, which, if you actually are stabbed there, it is a lot. The knife was left in, so there was a little bit of lingering. Mm-hmm. So, let's see. Okay. So, Loth, you should just jot down you have a black to your next check in this investigation for your 2 threat, basically, as you miss a detail.
Oh.
But basically, you're looking it over and there's something that doesn't catch your eye.
He said 2 threats?
Yeah, he's got 2 threat.
I think that's 1 threat.
Oh, is that cancel out to 1?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's that right there. The results.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm not reading it right. Oh, it's still 4. It's still for a black, okay.
Yeah.
But it's just different.
Yep.
It's a cold trail. So still count that black, but with the effect is different. You don't miss a detail, just we'll figure out we'll figure out exactly what you miss in a second, because I have to figure out how you guys get advantages in Marth's whatever.
Lucky found some royalty-free
one advantage in
casing the scene music.
Damn, that's actually pretty good.
Okay. Alright, this makes sense. So, Boots finds some, misses or gets some kind of cold detail that doesn't matter. Like, you pick up some ancillary detail about it. But Kavis locks onto something good, so in the next investigation, roll, you have a blue die, basically.
Alright.
This can be for any role in the investigation you make that's next. It's basically, you have a good lead, Boots has a cold lead.
Okay.
It's kind of how that works. What I'm imagining is that basically you both come to similar basic conclusions, knife, heart, whatever. Boots is probably looking at this from like a military matter, so you're probably like, gee, how tall was it? You know, you're trying to do that thing you joked about, like, how tall was this attacker? What do we, catch him by surprise? Whatever. Kavis, you are not really a forensics expert, and you only have, 1 in medicine?
Yeah, only 1.
But,
Oh, excuse me.
excuse you.
Sorry.
You do have 3 intellect, so you're pretty smart, so you think to yourself, oh yeah, Aramaa just mentioned defensive wounds, so you double-check his wrist, and you're like, no, there's definitely not any defensive wounds here. Which leads you to the conclusion that he must have known who his attacker was, or at the very least felt not threatened. He didn't do anything to defend himself.
Okay. Defense.
But because I joked about it, but it's funny. Both of you get a triumph. So you're checking and you're like, hey, there's something in his hand.
Oh no!
You pop it up. He's probably. It's been
I
a
heard
couple
that
of days at this
factory
point.
sound.
I think he's softening up from rigor mortis. No, Loth,
It
can you
was-
speak like a person?
Unless it was the name is coding basilisk or something like dumb.
I mean, we can make jokes on air, my dude.
Nah, my bad.
Yes, please. You're weirding me out a little. You're only responding in chat. It's awkward. I'm
I
talking
just don't
to
want to
nobody.
interrupt.
No, it's okay. You can interrupt me, especially if you're funny.
Yes.
No, it's just a piece of black scrap cloth. Yet, at current moment, it appears to be nothing particularly special, but it does look like maybe he reached out and reflectively grasped it while he got stabbed or something. Like he was surprised, he grabbed something and it just slipped in there.
Ripped off some fabric from the guy's clothing.
Yeah, so that's basically you've gained a bonus clue with your triumphs.
Do you make me scan for genetic material?
Well, you can do all. This is Star Wars. You can do all kinds of scans. The question is, can you guys physically do the scans, or
Yeah.
am I going to be
Are we
rolling
smart
NPC dice?
Can we have the machine scan it for genetic material?
Can we operate the machine?
Well,
Does that require computers?
Yes, usually sensor systems are computers. Or
Oh
perception.
no.
Exactly, Axe.
But we can eyeball the cloth and try and guess what kind of cloth it is.
Ooh, yes,
Marth's
this
holding
is
it up to her own
system.
blindfold.
So, what did
with your
investigate-
triumph, you guys found a bonus clue. There was a scrap of
okay,
cloth
so
in his
a
hand.
note.
No,
So some sort of scrap.
it's a piece of cloth, some kind of fabric. What's a good stuff?
Okay. Okay, now I'm caught up. Thanks.
I think, I think that would be a knowledge education test.
Oh,
Ah, shit.
okay.
But I'll call it easy because this particular fact
Oh.
you're looking for, like, hey, what kind of cloth is this? Is not a super important obscure detail. So if you guys would just want to roll raw int, you can take some chances. Also, you have like 50 million light points.
Oh wait.
You should spend them all now on the investigation, and then when you have a confrontation with like the culprit in a fucking
Oh, yeah,
dark
we do a
alleyway, I've
6.
got all the dark points.
Oh,
Jiminy
shit,
Christmas.
I rolled as well, but it wasn't that grand.
Oh, well, also spent the point.
No,
Minus
Loth
dot.
is thinking about rolling his black on the next investigation check, but he rolled
Yeah.
a blue die instead.
It's S.
Yeah, setback dice.
It just reversed itself. Reverse,
2
reverse.
successes, 2 threats.
Again, great. All right. All right, everybody's gonna
There's my
roll.
thing.
Okay. Did everybody succeed? No, Aramaa does not technically succeed.
Nope.
So, okay, guess what? You don't have eyes, so to you, it's just a piece of cloth. The Force tells me it's a piece of cloth. It's dark.
Can you see in color that much?
Yes.
Yeah, she can see in full color. She understands what colors are, but it's like
So she
like you
can
Oh,
said,
Aramaa
like,
vision.
I need to
details
have,
are a little weird.
Oh,
No,
she's
it's
like
just
third person.
Aramaa vision now.
Well, remember, I don't see black as knowing what black is. The Force tells me it's black.
Basically, yeah. It's just you understand
Yes.
that this physical object is black colored, but you're like,
Yeah.
So let me look at everybody. Did everybody get just? No. Okay, so there's 2 successes and there's 1 success, but that guy's got a 1 success and a threat.
Loth got 2 successes and 2 threats.
Yeah.
I know.
So-
I'm working on it. All of you rolled, and all of you have some levels of success and some levels of threat.
That's
Calm
gonna
down,
be
everyone.
what's
Let
back.
him work.
Let me work. I have to interpret the results.
Alright, I forgot about
and
the
technically,
blue
I guess
die.
all of you should have the fucking holocron because the game is supposed to let the players figure out how to do it, but I can't. It's probably too big for me to just teleport it to you.
Oh yeah, and I need to.
Can I? Will you do it? Oh shit, it'll do it. Fuck. It's exactly
Oh
3
yeah, I
megabytes.
forgot.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the blue dice. So I'm gonna add that in.
How many more advantages
GM
did you get?
Holocron, I'm gonna download this shit.
Wasn't it like 8?
2 more advantage.
You have a lot of advantage. So yeah, you guys are gonna need to work on some of that shit.
Oh, this thing's kind of long. What page is this?
39.
Thank you.
Technically the chart is on the next page, but investigations is 39.
Thank you.
But yeah, okay. So base success, you're like, what kind of cloth is this? As far as you guys can tell, like, as much as I'd love to give the guys who got a couple extra successes in there some extra stuff, there's not really much to tell. It's a scrap of cloth. It appears to be torn. It's not particularly old or particularly new. It's some kind of... Oh, I'm not a fabrics expert, but I'm guessing it's not... What's burlap actually made out of?
Let's look it up.
It's a rough fabric, kind of like a burlap.
Burlap.
Oh, it's a plant fiber. Yeah, so I'd say it looks like it's a plant fiber fabric, like equivalent to a rough burlap or a cotton or something. It's not like a smooth silk, but it's also not like an animal wool. You don't think it's just plant fibers. Based on your estimation, this type of fabric could be found literally anywhere. You're pretty sure it's not naturally dark. There's some kind of dye in there, but you'd have to like do some fucking chemical analysis to like isolate the dye or whatever. You guys aren't magic. And it looks like, based on the just core success, it is a ordinary piece of fabric that probably came from maybe like it's a little thicker and heavier, so maybe something like a homespun traveling cloak, a dark robe, some heavy robes.
Oh, wow.
Maybe like a tunic, something that's suitable for being outdoors and decently hardy. It appears, though, that just because he just got a death grip on, like, maybe the shoulder or the neckline hem and just pulled. Like I said, it's not brand new. And Aramaa knows nothing. It's a piece of black fabric, but you rolled a shitload of advantage that I have no idea what to do with.
I could just tumble out.
You could just do cases converge and one leads to another, which is the 3 advantage things on like the spending advantage on investigation.
Well, yeah, but how do those?
Yeah,
what are those linked to? Like, you're currently only investigating. Well, I guess technically you're investigating both the body and the piece of fabric, so you could get some evidence about his death. But I think you've got most of his body stuff out of the way.
I'm not worried about it. If the advantage is useless, the advantage is useless.
Yeah, I'm not. Honestly, I don't think you guys know enough information for me to just like. I get how it's supposed to be narrative and stuff, but like in the current situation, I don't see like for threat. I don't think I can introduce like minor interference because it's like who's going to interfere right now? Yeah. Like, I guess the thing to do would be because you guys all rolled together like nunces to be like somebody like, oh shit, evidence. I need to bag that.
Yeah.
And maybe that explains why some of your advantage goes away a little fast. That the droid is like, oh hey, evidence. Excuse me, I must collect this and tag it. Just clips it and takes it.
It's like, oh no.
So it's got to go forensic that. If you want to, you'll have to probably go to whatever passes for evidence lockup if you want to look at it again. But at its core, the fabric is perfectly ordinary and not very descript.
Well, if it's like a cloak or a robe and it's not old or
I will say those of you who succeeded, heck, honestly, even Aramaa, who didn't succeed but rolled a shitload of advantage, if you saw somebody wearing the garment that cloth came from, you could probably match it with just a cursory examination. I'll give you that much for all your extra advantages.
Okay.
Sweet.
So I guess we should check our other leads and then see if we find anything that corresponds.
Yeah, I feel fair saying that like if that piece of cloth is relevant to anything later and it circles back, I can let you guys know.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, let's go down the list.
So, is there anything else you want to know about the body? Because, like I said,
were there any like you said addiction to calf? Were there any like foreign elements like drugs or anything else that we found?
Yeah. So you guys didn't do invasive, so you're gonna have to rely on like the droid report. But the droid is like, the toxicology screen was negative. We checked his stomach contents and revealed that within the past 6 hours, he had 2 dried algae bars and 1 cup of recaf with blue milk.
Okay.
He needed to go to the gym more and step back on the heavy cream.
I don't know. He seemed to pull pretty good. I think he was good on that gym.
Amending medical file.
But
perhaps he did not skip leg day.
He probably didn't. All right, but let's see here. Yeah. So toxicology.
No, it looks like he wasn't drugged in any way. He, you guys, those who succeeded on there, you can conclude the autopsy. He's got some post-mortem bruising where he, fell straight backwards like a board and clunked into the ground.
Let's see here. So no defensive wounds, no drugs.
Time of death. That would come from the body. That's right.
Yes.
Estimated based on time and temperature and all that stuff, he died at, I won't try and 24-hour clock this, but the equivalent of after midnight.
After midnight.
When was he released?
I don't know. You guys probably released him end of the workday, basically. There would be some post-processing. Probably several hours before midnight. He would have been free to move around.
So, murder weapon or security?
We should probably, before we move on to the knife, I'm trying to think if there's any other particular body things. Like I said, I'm not an expert in forensics, but there's usually a few things. So we have the cause of death, we have the time of death, we have ruled out toxins, defensive wounds. I'm just trying to, before we move on, I'm just trying to think of any other things. I think.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Defense was also that's tough, so no.
Yeah, and we found the scrap of cloth in his head, so I guess that's foreign objects.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think that's it. So lucky he's not a forensics expert. So, yeah, let's move on to the Nith.
Yes.
All right, murder weapon. You go somewhere else, probably something forensic-y. Yeah, there is probably a security detachment here who have, like, a secure storage for stuff. Generally, they're like, well, normally we just keep our guns and stuff in there if we need them, but we'll hold a knife. So it's in a plastic tub. You guys get some gloves to hold. All right, so now, this one's going to be tougher. If you want to investigate where you think the knife came from, or anything special about the knife, that's going to be a formidable, that's 4 purples, lore check.
Oh.
We can't.
I
I was wondering if we were going
have
to check
to-
for like glove prints and fingerprints.
Oh,
No, we want to
Sorry, whatever.
understand what kind of knife it is first.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll do
They're
that. I'll,
also already, like I said, they bleep with a scanner. There's no fingerprints.
I'm going to
can
spend.
I,
I'm going to spend a light point and
Okay.
Can I assist? him?
turn it down to
Do
3.
you have knowledge lore?
Yes.
No.
No, you
Uh,
cannot assist.
Okay.
You don't know shit. You can roll on your own if you want to roll your intellect.
Nah. That's
Okay.
too
Okay.
far.
Actually, I will. I have lore 1. I
Okay.
will assist you, Marth.
All right, you can give him a blue die. That's a skilled assistance. You know what you're doing. Technically, if he had less lore than you, I don't. But you're probably both 1, or maybe he's 2. But he spent.
He's 2.
force
I
point.
think he has higher lore and intellect than me.
Yeah, I have 3 intellect, 2 lore.
All right, and you
I'll
flip a
help
light.
by standing there and looking pretty.
Okay.
So this is going to be.
Fuck.
I succeeded, but there's a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Oh,
Show
boy.
me. Show me the stuff. Oh my. Oh,
Fuck!
Jiminy
Five-
Christmas.
Those
Yeah.
purple dice weren't
5
like
6. That's 5 threat.
So, those 2 dice types really didn't interact, huh?
Look at the dice. It's just literally all one thing.
like damn those purples.
Yee. Okay.
How many sides in the purples are like the doubles like double thread?
Probably
I
only
think
like 1 or
only-
2.
I think only 1, actually.
Is it 1? Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
All
a
right.
D4.
So, let us begin. Successes first, I believe. Successes are resolved first. So, you're looking at this knife, and you're trying to remember all those hours you spent in the Jedi archive studying for your Jedi essays and writing your Jedi book reports. Not literally, but you know what I mean.
Right.
So, you're like trying to track what you're doing. You know, you're like, okay, what do we got? What do we got here? So, rough description. It is a knife of Japanese yelling.
The refractory.
That's a joke. But that's because you can hear Lucky's Rune Factory in the background. But you'd say... Oh, it should be metric, but I really... Meters I can do. I can't do centimeters. I don't have a good frame of reference for that. It's, you know, probably the equivalent of, like, somewhere between 6 and 8 inches long. You know, a sizable knife blade, but not huge. It's got a simple wedge shape, you know, tapers to a small point, big at the back so the wounds don't close up. Made of a dark, aged metal. You can immediately tell with your successes that it appears to be an antique.
Okay.
Yeah, you can continue to spread your metric propaganda, but like I said, I have no idea what the fuck a centimeter is. I'm like, it's got a relatively short handle. You'd say it's probably one-handed. Bound in some kind of leather. Got some kind of dark, slightly tarnished metal. Got some interesting carvings. So you're like thinking about
knife?
okay, what are the carvings? And you think to yourself, like, okay, where have I seen this stuff before? What's going on? What do we got here? And so, you believe that you're thinking about it. And you're like, okay, where is this knife from? And you think to yourself, you're pretty sure that this knife is from, you think, the Bogdan system. If you remember rightly, you think it might be because there's ancient historical people there. There were human settlers who lived in the Bogdan system for a long time. It has a shifting, chaotic terrain because it's got a lot of moons. That's what you remember from school. A lot of people live on the moons, not on the actual planet, because it's all over the place. And currently, it is technically a Republic loyalist world. And you're trying to think to yourself, what's this knife for? Yeah, okay, I think that works. So yeah, I will say with all that threat, you cannot determine the exact nature of the knife. And in fact, it's really obscured. Like, you're examining this thing and you're like, what's this? I think this is a knife from Bogdan, or maybe one of the cultures on the moons, but you can't, the carvings are, like, worn away, and it's got all kinds of process in there. And you're looking at it and you're like, oh, this leather and stuff, it's, I'm basically thinking hostile source, so, you're gonna add 2 black to any further perception or knowledge checks you will personally to investigate this clue.
Okay.
Because, like, you track it down, you find the source, you find a little bit of knowledge, you're like, where's this knife? But you can't put your finger on it.
Okay.
So you are, he pulls up basically, oh, this is, if you'll allow me to exposit for you, oh, this is a knife, I think it's from a culture from maybe one of the moons of Bogdan. I don't remember which one, though, because Bogdan's got, like, 20 moons or something. Yeah, it's got 20 moons. It's got a lot of moons.
How far away from this planet is Bogdan?
Far. Bogdan is in the inner rim.
Oh.
You are in the outer rim. Though, technically, the skill check for that is Core Worlds still, I think, because it's only Core Worlds or inner rim. It's slightly awkward. Thanks, game.
Alright. So we have a knife. Kind of crude. Carvings.
I mean, I'll say again, with all that extra success, the primary thing is, what Marth said. It's antique. It's fucking old, is the thing.
It's like some cultist knife or something.
Oh.
So I can probably just think probably some sort of collector of this stuff.
Yeah, but who would use a collector's items in a murder?
This is like
to make
item.
A point, I guess.
Is it like some ritual knife?
Don't know that.
Well, it could or it could not. But
I will
it's
also mention that, again, is kind of a tangential thing. That actually, no, fuck it. I won't tell you anything. You gotta roll knowledge core worlds if you want to know about Bogdan. I'll shut up.
I know shit all about Bogdan.
Same. But,
knowledge skills, damn it.
Well,
yeah.
I could
Hi, welcome
try
to Investigations.
I could just roll a straight up int.
I was about to say, investigations using knowledge skills? Egad!
It's more of like...
Well, I mean, what would even be
things to get knowledge
What would even be the difficulty for knowing about Bogdan, or should we even care about that?
I mean, if you want to know more, yeah, it's probably average. I'll call it average.
I'll try.
Add your 2 black, because...
Yay!
This is not a good source.
Put a light point in there. Oh, it's not just
good.
a knife.
You got 5 more of those left.
How
Spend a
many
force point.
You started with 6. You
s-
flipped 1 for the knowledge lore, right? Or no, you didn't. That's right. So you didn't.
I'll spend it.
Okay.
So I did flip it, so it's
Okay.
now down to 4-4.
4-4.
Okay, so let's see here. Am I going to degrade? Let's see here. There's upgrading my dice for downgrading difficulty thing. Probably should upgrade.
Yes,
I'm just
upgrading would
kinda-
be the best.
So this thing applies to everything involving, like
Yes,
any, like,
basically,
tangential
anytime you're trying
information?
to figure out how the knife fits into your investigation, he, specifically, Kavis, takes 2 black.
Well, it's the same as the party because he's the only one that actually has knowledge skills.
It's not the same as the party, X.
I can roll.
Yeah, he's got
Okay.
lore. Like
Half our
Aramaa
party.
could be like, okay, I want to take a crack at this. She has to do it with her own lore score in her int, but
Yeah.
that is an actual thing that can happen. Sometimes you need multiple points of view or multiple to look at things from different angles.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? In that mindset, I will take a crack at Core Worlds, but it's just going to be 2 green versus 2 purple.
Well, Marth's already rolling Core World. There it is.
Oh shit! It actually worked out.
Damn.
Okay. Let's go for a strain. Okay.
Okay.
But Core Worlds. So, Bogdan is in the inner rim. You know that already. It's located on the Hydean Way, which is a major trade route.
Oh, okay.
It's a terrestrial planet that is orbited by 20 moons, most of which are just called Bog, like 1 through 20. It's a terrestrial planet, though, with a lot of swamps and a lot of chaotic like a lot of chaotic terrain. It's constantly shifting under the tidal effect of the planet. Very geologically active. You know that it has a large orbital debris field, because there was once a catastrophic war on that planet which lasted 1,000 years.
Jesus.
It devastated all the orbital and surface areas between all the many, many moons, basically.
Had to disappear again.
Okay, go for it, dude. We'll catch you back up.
So what was the
No, I think
whole
he's saying
thing?
he was
Just
out
like
already.
20 moons.
It has
so
20
it's 20
moons. It's swampy. There's a lot
And
of
they're
tidal
core
forces.
swampy.
There
Tidal
was
forces.
1,000 years of
Okay.
war, so there's a shitload of planetary debris. Orbital
war
debris, I
was
should
that?
say. There's a very little active government on the planet anymore. Like, the people who used to live there mostly live in one of the other moons, basically. Like,
Okay.
various other civilizations. There are a lot of ruins from the place there. And you actually remember, with your triumph, because this might be helpful, you remember that actually on the moon of Bogdan 3, there's a little Jedi chapter house, basically. There's a little Jedi facility. Where basically it's kind of because it's on a major trade route, it's kind of a rally point where they kind of congregate younglings who are coming into the Jedi Temple and can give them basic training or settle them, and then they move to Coruscant on the main temple. So, and there are presumably, because there's a Jedi outpost there are a couple of other Republic buildings on that moon, and there's not a lot of people living on the core planet. But because the surface is so chaotic, the actual body of Bogdan is usually home to outlaws, smugglers, or bounty hunters. It's a well-known spice smuggling system, and it's on a major trade route. So theoretically, it's not weird that a artifact from there ended up on your planet.
Okay. Another interruption.
Bogdan. Let's see here.
So
Bogdan.
major
I wonder
trade
if
route,
we
Jedi
could call-
chapter house facility.
I wonder if we could call them about this.
Call Bog 3?
I mean,
Don't know what state the holonet is in, but theoretically you could. That's the thing that happens is you can get on the big hologram and dial 1-800 another planet. You are the Jedi.
Yes. Do we want to?
You don't know that. I would say that that's probably not something you want to derail your investigation and do right now, because that's making a long distance phone call and you don't even know how relevant that is.
Yeah, it might be completely irrelevant.
That's just what you learn about Bogdan.
Yeah.
Basically. The triumph is basically, oh, hey, you remember that there's helpful people there who may be able to help you with further things.
Okay.
There is crime. Not crime. Crime. God damn it.
There could be Chrome there, I don't know.
let's see, another lead.
There's planets there called Ironwith with an E, which is a planet that's hard as Durasteel.
Crazy.
Probably
All right.
because of all the tidal shifting.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta imagine all those moons just pulling all of the planets at once. That's probably not a happy planet.
It's a fuckload of moons.
Yeah, that's what I said. Tidal forces, there's just, like, constant geologic activity with, like, a canyon forms or a mountain range forms, and, you know, it shifts around and stuff.
So there's no way to get a glove print.
No, that doesn't exist.
God, that's like the third time he said it. So I guess we can infer from this probably wasn't maybe not a passion killing.
Business deal.
Yeah, based on what you've seen, I don't what the fuck even would be the psychology skill?
I don't know.
As a pass, I will just tell you, if you ask anybody or with your own possible training, no, this is not how crimes of passion work. He was stabbed once, it was a surgical blow, they left the knife. Given the fact, I'll say this, based on the combination of the corpse and the knife you've got right now, without any further rolls, you would say that the knife is probably a message. Whether the knife itself is the message or just the crime is, but, like, they stabbed him and they left the murder weapon there to let you know that they're serious and they're not to be fucked with, whoever they are.
Should we check security and then do the crime scene and effects?
Well, I was just going down the list that I got them, and the next was the personal effects.
Are you sure about that? Because my bullet point, the next one's the crime scene. Did you write them down differently? That's okay.
Oh no, I forgot to write down crime scene.
Yeah, crime scene.
I looked back up to see the thing Omega gave us. A murder weapon was first if we went to the body first.
Oh, was it? Oh, I'm just dumb.
To me, it's like I think security might be work to like see and then check the crime scene for anything like adjacent information.
Well, it really doesn't matter either way.
Yeah.
Fair.
We're gonna investigate all of them. We'll get to it eventually. And who knows? Things
It's
we
like
might
Clue.
discover
You're gonna get
somewhere
them.
else.
Well, actually, it's not like Clue at all because you know exactly where and how it was done. You just need the who. But it's a bit like that in that you have to cover all the things and put them together to solve the crime.
Colonel Mustard, it was you all along?
All right, let's do one more. What's next? What are you doing next?
Oh,
What
let's
do you
go
wanna
to I said, well, I'm fine with crime scene.
Yeah, I'm crime scene.
Smash
Crime
cut. You're back
scene.
in his lab.
See if I can do a
there's-
perception check.
There's like holographic crime scene tape on the doors that you just pass through. Kind of wobbles. You're in there. It looks exactly like it was. The lights are dimmed. You click them on.
Is there
all
still
right.
that pouting coder of the smoke bomb?
No, he got that cleaned up.
Oh, interesting.
That's why he was part of why he was in his lab. It seems he was cleaning it up. There's probably a dustbin in the corner filled with it. All right. So,
Okay.
you're physically examining the scene of a crime. This will be a perception check.
Okay.
Let's
What
call
was the blood
it.
splatter like?
Well, you need to roll perception.
All right, here we go.
Right.
Let's
and I
see.
have-
What's the good one?
and,
Modern, special. Let's call it hard because you guys would need to be a forensic specialist.
3 purples.
Yeah, 3 purples. You guys
All
roll
right.
checks.
Okay,
I'm gonna go pee real quick,
I'm rolling
I have
checks.
2 black, and I
and
still
I'll
have
leave the
2
mic
black.
on so you can yell about your results.
My results
Okay.
suck.
Okay, I think I still have 2 black on my rolls.
I did okay.
No, I think that was just for the knife specifically, wasn't it?
It was.
I just heard like
It was for the
perception,
night. It was specifically for that source.
Okay, so it's like
Lucky.
Yeah.
Dice don't like you today.
Marth,
No, dice
do you
don't
have
like me
the-
when I have to look at stuff.
Marth, do you have the holocron?
What?
You have the holocron thing open that Omega gave us.
Yes.
Do you have it to page 39?
Yet. I have to
Turn
do
to the page.
my,
Turn to
I
the
have
table because it's like the thing that penalized you is called hostile source.
Yeah,
where
I have
it's
to.
all-
Yeah, I have to
How about we wait for
do
him to
it
get
in my
back?
browser because this thing is like my PDF reader decided to be like, you can't open this because the side-by-side configuration is broken.
Oh no.
Really, that's awful.
Why are you
I
doing
do
that
like my
side-by-side
results.
camera?
Just no successes, no failures, just all threat, all advantage.
I really should put points into perception more and medicine. In this, I guess.
Okay, so it's just from that specific source.
That's up to
How the
you,
fuck
Axe.
is
Look,
this
I made
theory
sure
so fucking strong?
go
Sorry,
pick
I'm
up Barry.
playing Rune Factory, and one of my monsters is literally like twice as strong as everyone else. I'm trying to figure out why.
Oh, you're growing monsters now.
Yeah.
Pluck them off the fairy tree. Oh, it's a ripe old age.
Okay,
Tastes good.
Oh my
Wait.
god, stop. Not right now. I don't need this right now.
I'm back. We're
Actually-
stopping that.
Oh,
Hi,
wait, that
how'd you do in
was-
your
that was-
checks?
That was on
Actually-
mic. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I told you I wasn't gonna pause it so you could yell about your results. I see that they're very something.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, we need you to verify about the black dice for Marth. because
You were
we
correct
weren't
when you
quite-
said that it's only for that source. This is a new clue. There's no black dice.
Thank you. I actually read it.
Yes.
No,
That was
Alex,
funny.
you were trying to say that he should put it on.
No.
No,
it
he
wasn't.
wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I misconstrued everything then.
And it's all on microphone for the audience to know about forever. I hope you enjoy that
In my
audience.
corner.
Anyway,
This is why I type things instead of
Marth
saying
rolls. He got stuff. Okay. All right. The scene of the crime.
I'm gonna play
Okay.
I'm gonna play that track again.
So let's see.
I'll play.
Well, Axe at least ruled one success, so he can actually answer his own question about blood spatter.
And I also can do follow-up lead or what's this?
Yeah, or any other success thing.
So-
That matters. But first, okay, so scene of the crime, pretty simple. Sadly, you're in a metal box, so there's no. It wasn't dusty, so there's no impression evidence or anything. There's no footprints. There's no weird handprints or anything. No smudges like that. So they weren't, they didn't come in from the dripping rain like a fucking slasher movie and stab him. That at least is something you could rule out. And in fact, there's all who succeeded in some capacity. Okay, so just Kavis and Camo, it looks like. Because, hey, Aramaa, that was a perception check you just fumbled.
Yep.
You know where you are? You're on solo live, and it sucks.
It's the mud ball. I want to
Take
get
a
away.
strain as you realize how much this place sucks.
I will still daydreaming about Aramaa's house of comfort.
I love
But
that.
okay.
Literally, just like you could justify all strain by being like, "This planet sucks." You remember that.
So,
again.
and maybe Kavis also takes a strain because I'm getting tired of like interfering with the clues.
Right.
We'll use the special rules sparingly because they're not really set up for you to have so many pieces of evidence at once, I think.
Yeah.
But okay, so those who succeeded, first off, no signs of struggle. Nothing's out of place, nothing's really knocked over. Like, you notice that there are some beakers or tumblers or something on the one desk next to where there's the obvious bloodstain. And who knows, maybe there's some holographic tape there to let you know where there was a body there, because even though they don't actually do chalk outlines, it's also TV, kind of. Like, maybe his left arm reached out and brushed some stuff as he fell backward, but not, like, serious struggle signs. There's no scuff marks, because that's his question, there's technically no blood spatter. It was a single stab wound, and the knife was left in. There's no spatter. There is a pool of blood where he fell onto the floor as it leaked out of his body. Pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
You guys rolled perception, so this isn't like medicine to be like, well, how much blood is on the floor? Is that enough blood to kill a guy? You're pretty sure you looked at the body. It's enough blood that he died.
Yeah.
But if you had done this in a different order, you would have to check with the body or roll medicine. But it's a lot of blood. It's in a fairly uniform stain. And that's basically all there is about that. So, other than that, let's see. You already found the scrap of cloth in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no... You do a pretty thorough eyeball sketch. You know, look around here, touch some stuff, smell some stuff. There's no... I guess the key points are... I'll reiterate again. The key points before I finish up and spend some advantage and threats, maybe. Key points. There's no extra blood spatter, though there is a blood stain. There's no serious signs of a struggle. There is no additional trace evidence, it looks like, from a person here. So whoever did this was pretty methodical and probably pretty fast.
Yeah.
So let's see, what other stuff we got going on? So some of you rolled some advantage. Boots, you rolled advantage, but no success. You're looking at his science shit again because you didn't actually come in the first time. You guys waited outside, so you start poking around some stuff, and you're like, okay, well, the two Jedi have the body on lockdown, it thinks, or at least Kavis does, and Aramaa is your boss, so you're not going to bother her. Even though it looks like she's just staring into the middle distance, but maybe she always looks like that. It's hard to tell with the blindfold.
You know when she's going in and out of trauma flashbacks.
So you examine some of his equipment, and you remember this from the brief discussion you guys probably had sharing exposition, and you're like, he's got some stuff in here. And you notice it was kind of tucked away, but you recognize these because you were part of the base raid, the bar raid. He's got a little next to one of his mixing machines, he's got a couple of cartons of death sticks. Looks like he was diluting them down so they last longer.
Diluted death sticks.
That
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't sound great.
it's Narcotics 101. You cut the product with something inert or worse,
Yeah.
so that it lasts longer and you can sell it more.
Hive mind. I found some death sticks.
And with one advantage and a success for Camo, we'll turn that into a boost out of your next investigation check, sure, as you're looking around and you're like, okay, there's no dust. There's no dust for footprints. There's no weird boot prints or anything. There's nothing going on. Except, what's this? You reach down, and on some metal cabinets around the corner, you find another scrap of black cloth that looks like it got torn off on a metal cabinet hinge. Now, you're not looking at it right now, but you're reasonably sure, based on your brain powers, it's the same sort of cloth. Maybe a different cut, maybe a different pattern. This might be, like, from some, like, work trousers or tunic trousers or something.
So we got someone that has like torn their cloak and on their pants. So,
Yeah. It's a similar dark color. In fact, you'd probably say it's about the same dark color. That's a little weird. Who matches their fabrics that closely? Seriously.
Some cultist or something.
So there you go. That's your evidence.
Okay.
All right, what next? That's your basic crime scene 101.
If you don't mind me asking, just question. It's not the same color fabric that our Navy officers wear, is it?
No, and in fact, I think Republic Navy is like a grayish color.
Yes.
Okay,
great.
good. Just wanted to rule that out.
No, it's like
Okay.
some people wearing like shady black, even though black
So
was
next is
Well, let's see.
personal effects.
Well, before that,
Actually, yeah. So Republic Navy appears to be actually like an olive drab color.
okay. Well,
So,
or any
good
does he
news
have
now.
any, like? So this is what I'm wondering right now. We're saying that this guy was killed to send a message. Now, the message. Now, we're not entirely sure what the message is. It's probably more along the lines of "Don't fuck with us. We will kill you." Probably. But why was this man killed? Was he killed because we busted up his ring or whatever? Because as far as we know, this guy was only really connected to Hoke, making some stuff on the side.
To
Did, like,
remind
I'm-
you,
Did
he
he say he
said
had
that
suppliers?
he had suppliers.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the way his relationship with Hoke worked, and you could ask Hoke about it, but Hoke's got a lawyer bot, so you'd have to make some social checks to get some stuff out of him, or offer him leniency. I don't know. You'd have to figure out something. It would be some kind
Yeah.
of check because he's lawyered up, so he's not cooperative by default. But if you remember, well, you don't, so I'll
No,
phrase
I
it
don't.
this way. Gravanac kind of explained that he kind of had a two-way relationship with Hoke. Hoke paid him to extend his product, whether that was just water down his booze or water down his narcotics, but also because Dr. Gravanac had been here for a while, he knew suppliers out in the world, basically out in the planet, who provided some of the product locally, and he was the middleman. So he was the guy Hoke called and said, "Hey, I need 30 G's of green tops on the double." And then Gravanac would be like, yes, of course. This was the voice he used, probably. I'll get them right away. Smoke bomb. So, he was also intake as well as cutting the product.
Okay.
He handled the product one way or another, which Boots has just noticed some of the product here.
Okay.
Okay.
So it might be the like actual like crime syndicate people.
Because,
Yeah.
remember, Gravanac wanted to be locked up and sent away, so he was completely unhelpful. Like, he was saying stuff like, he'd die before he'd tell you who his suppliers were.
It's ironic.
I guess that came true.
Correct.
But okay, so we can make a stretch here and say this is maybe the suppliers, and they basically want us to fuck off.
Well, they want somebody to fuck off.
Yeah.
You? Everybody? Who knows?
Who knows? But that means that from the time that he got caught to the time of death, they got wind of it and acted. That's pretty fucking
Yeah.
quick.
That was probably about before, like, the whole shenanigans, that was probably within about 12 hours.
Yeah.
So they're keeping
So-
tabs on him or something.
Yeah, so that means everybody's keeping tabs on him, or he was communicating with somebody recently. Does his room have any, like, communication equipment in it?
This room, no. That might be
Lotus
in his
personal
personal
room.
effects if you want to check his shit out.
Well, yeah, well, let's go. Like I said, well, before we move on, anyone got anything else they might want to think of?
I want to ask about like so Omega for this game. I assume like this is the only thing we're covering, and it's kind of leading to like maybe like some hidden things in the entire base, and not like
Well,
multiple
that's
other cases
that
also?
that end part's too much to ask, but yes, this is the point of the session, is this plot
Yeah.
hook.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey.
Okay.
You're not going to get out of it easy.
Did
I was more
anyone,
asking if, like, there were
hide
other things we were
any... Did anyone like hide any sort of like listening equipment here?
No. We weren't thinking about that.
Did anybody- Well, okay. I will say that because some of you did succeed with advantage, you can rule that out.
Okay.
None of it seems out. If you want to be like 100% sure, you'd probably need like surveillance scanners or some shit, but there's no
Right.
obvious listening devices in here.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I
Oh.
have.
That's kind of it then.
Let's
How
nosy
difficult
through-
how difficult is it to access this base, by the way?
Well, right now, technically the science parts are public.
Okay.
Like they're
Everyone that go
because
in
there's
has to, like-
the scientists are on government payroll, but they're still civilians. You know, they're scholars. They're that kind of stuff. They're from institutions. Yes.
Does everyone that have to come in have to at least sign in? like at like a front thing, like do the signage for coming in?
I mean, yes, there's probably, especially because it's wartime, yes, there's probably technically a customs thing, but that's very casual if you have your right ID. Like, hey, do you have a citizenship ID?
Okay, we might have to like check those.
Oh yeah, that would be the security system would be, but this is basically your seat of government. There's probably there's several hundred, if not several thousand people in the base. And
oh wow.
Yeah, you're the capital of the planet.
Yeah.
You should be glad that number is not tens of thousands. Luckily, Sohlev doesn't have a super high population density because it's so fucking backwater. But you're looking at probably, multiple hundreds of sign-ins and signs-out every day. Whether that's, locals come in to do business, locals come in to sell their wares come in from outside because you've got on-site businesses. And there's so many GIFs and they're so moving and they're so distracting. It's really flipping my shit.
Loth, could you delete this?
Well, I can delete them if I want. I don't know if I want to be rude, but it's like, try to focus. And it's really hard when I'm staring at the chat and there's a dog constantly munching. I don't even know what he's doing here. Why is he here? I'm distracting the game. Anyway, so yeah, that would be basically what you look up when you do security system. But yes, it's not like so obvious to be like, hey, did only 5 people come in? No, it's more than that.
At least it's something, but
yes. Accessing this part of the base is probably pretty easy. Like I said, there's no holocams, so it would just be like, hey, I have some business, and it's not a secured section. Now theoretically, Dr. Gravanac has a lock on his doors because he's got a lab. He could technically close them and set an access code. That would probably be computers if you guys wanted to double check to see if the door was like key code locked or something.
Should we get a droid for this?
I'm willing to just...
Or you could just let it ride and be like, nah.
I'm okay with just letting it ride.
Let's just...
Yeah, let it ride.
Alright, so I'm going to poke you.
Okay.
Because I feel like we're forgetting something. Do you want to do anything about the death sticks that Boots found?
Oh.
Which I think, he said hive mind, which I think literally he holds up and I found death sticks. He's got little plasteel crates.
Let's put those away.
Well, let's tag him. Let's tag him as contraband.
All right, tag and bag him. Go in the evidence locker.
Yeah.
Suddenly, there's a lot of stuff in the evidence locker. They haven't had this much stuff here or there in years. Not since the incident. That's when the previous security chief was just 2 days from retirement.
Did they always plan it for that? They always plan it for just before the retirement party.
Oh. Though that does remind me, because you were asking about news and stuff. You were looking for comms devices. Another thing you could figure out what the grapevine is like here, because that was a thing you did not really do last time you did an investigation. You just followed your own leads and did your own brain stuff. That's not technically a clue, but that's just something if you want to be like, hey, how do people know things here?
Oh yeah, the Ombu broker. Yeah.
So, do you want to go to his personal effects next?
Yes.
Okay. Technically, this is probably split up between a couple of places because there's the shit that was on his body that they cleaned and processed, but also his room. But we'll just combine the things. So, and who knows? Maybe you take his stuff back to his room so you can do detectiving better. I don't know. So on his body when he died was pretty basic. He had a code cylinder which was key coded to his lab in his room because he could lock those.
Okay.
So he has basically an electronic key thing that looks a lot like a cigarette lighter or a paperweight or something because it's Star Wars.
Okay.
He had a physical ID card, which is super retro, but welcome to Solo Live. He had his little ID badge. And he had a personal data pad in his back pocket.
All right.
You guys are bad at computers, so I'm going to say that it is not password locked.
Okay.
Well, we would like to look at that.
However, you can check the memory logs. He does format it frequently. So there's not a lengthy amount of records, but there's some files. We can look at that in a second. Let me finish describing what he's got.
Yeah.
There was his clothes. He was wearing X1 space scrub pants and space scrub shirt and a lab coat. The lab coat, and well, honestly, all of it's pretty soaked in blood now. It's all his blood forensics. And that's probably it that was in his pockets and shit. In his room, he has a hardwired data terminal.
Oh.
That's not uncommon for the scientist, so he could like access his work files from his room and stuff. He's got a bed. He's got some spare, generic space clothes. Got some spare lab coats. Looks like he needed to do some laundry before he died. That's unfortunate. He's got house slippers. He's probably got like one set of rubber coveralls for field work that he never does anymore. He has a lot of sets of rubber gloves, or at least some kind of clean gloves. They're probably the disposable kind, but he's got a lot of boxes of these. You're like, did he? It's probably the drug thing. That's why he has so many. But damn, he used a lot.
Well, at least he got he kept on his PPE.
Yeah, basically. And actually, speaking of that, he's probably got make me do you want to canvass his room? Make me an average perception check.
Sure.
All right.
To see how effective
Average.
you are at opening his drawers and turning out his closets and like dumping out his boots and shit. Let's just see if anything magically jumps out.
Should start getting a scanner or something.
Yeah, if you guys wanted to do special stuff, you'd probably need some scanners, but this is just eyeballs. This is old-fashioned legwork.
I'll just
If we had a yellow poison per person.
So give blue to Lucky.
Oh wait, I get a boost on this actually.
Neato.
By success
With a
two.
threat, Jimmy.
Two.
Lucky, how'd you do with a boost die?
Threatening. Lucky?
Did he ghost?
Lucky? I think he ghosted.
Okay, well, we'll wait for him to come back and I'll solve those problems.
Right, because that blue
okay. Well, that is once again a astonishing amount of success. So 5 successes. So really quick, Camo, you're an advanced recon commando. They taught you how to toss a room in the 5-minute method or whatever.
Search everywhere to find the
yes,
hidden data.
Find hidden documents, military data, whatever. You know how to toss a room fast. You're not being subtle. Maybe you missed some stuff, and we'll have to see if anybody rolls successes because Lucky's logging back out and in. Anyway, you do the full works. You check his pillowcase. You flip his mattress over. You pop his drawers. You check under his desk. You check in his closet. All that stuff. So, shocking nobody, under his mattress, he's got a bunch of extra credits. Probably.
You're going back, sorry.
Okay.
Something plus a
Did you roll a
minimum?
check?
I did not.
Okay.
I literally ghosted when Omega was going, so I was just stuck with that while my computer restarted.
Okay, so it's an average perception check, and
All right.
Marth gave you a blue die to assist because he doesn't want to roll on his own.
I'm okay with that. Hang on, let me get my die roller up.
Hope you do well because you need to counteract all my threats, because I might have missed something.
Well, yeah, because that's basically at
Whatever
the
you
moment
do.
what I'm saying is that your check with threat is basically you're just literally tossing his room, just fucking, you take your knife out. Somebody blow into their microphone, stop that. You give me the adjective. But literally you're knife pillowcase, open up, dump it out, mattress, flip, check it with your knife, pop the drawers. Is there anything in the bottom of the drawers? Dump the drawer out. No. So you are fast, but you are not clean. Because somebody probably just told you to search the room.
I posted
Yeah, I
one
got
success, 3 again.
So you find that he's got about 541 credits in just rando hard cash under his mattress. Not a lot for a backup fund, but a decent amount.
So, what do we do with this?
We leave it?
It's
Okay.
contraband, so I mean it's hidden anyway, so it would be the proper police procedural thing would be to report it, but you could pocket it if you want.
The evidence locker.
Technically, I think the Jedis should take a conflict for that, assuming you lie about it, in which case, if you don't lie about it, somebody's probably going to take it.
I'm not going to take it. I said I was going to report it.
Okay,
Let's
You're good.
report it.
I'm just saying. All right,
No.
If the boss says I do so, I'll do that.
locked in. So there's that. In a very basic bitch hidden compartment in one of his drawers. You pop it open. He does, in fact, have a comlink.
Cool.
Probably whatever the basic handheld model is. No, it doesn't explode.
Wait, what?
Lost comment. It's not the Death Note hidden compartment where he's got a flash powder or something in there. No.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of Dr. Gravanac. It just has a microphone recording. Smoke bomb!
Open up the door,
No,
just
the
use
smoke
it
bomb was
there.
very improvised. That's not a thing he does normally. But
What we'd
so
like
he's
it to
got
be.
a comm link, a hand portable comm link, and he's got a couple of looks like secure data chips, which have data on them of a variety.
Okay.
All right, well,
You also check under his desk, with your knife. Check under. There's no hidden compartment, but there is some kind of mem stick thing, whatever there's a term for it in the gear guide that I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's the space equivalent of a memory card or a thumb drive.
Data stick?
Yeah, something like that. Data stick, mem stick. I don't know. It's a thing. It's got data on it. It looks like it fits in that computer that's on his desk, and that's basically what you get blitzing through there.
all right.
Oh, I see. A space USB.
That was just his check with 5 success. Like I said, Camo literally does the 5-point room scan. Is just like, okay, we check here, knife. Is something in my way? Knife. And he may or may not have missed details because that threat. Boots just take a strain as just you're trying to look through his shit and you're just like you're checking grimy old scientist laundry bin and checking his rubbish basket and stuff.
I'm probably tripping over the stuff that Camo was just throwing down.
I was about
Camo
to say
hits you in the face with a pillow. There was accidentally a cred chip in there that's made of gold-plated silicon or something because it's an actual hard currency and it clunks your forehead. Ow!
Ah, my helmet.
There's a roll of space quarters in there. But you basically, I'll say with your 1 success, you've got very mundane stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm still talking to Boots. I'll get to you.
Boots.
You roll advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like he decently lived in his room, but maybe not as much as he could have. He needed to do some laundry. He needed to take out his trash, but there's nothing weird in his trash. It's all normal shit, ration wrappers. Maybe you find a couple of new memory stick plastic seals or whatever.
Ah, okay.
So, Aramaa, you and Kavis are kind of looking around, and you're trying to okay. You're trying to find a new angle, right? Because
Yes.
Camo is just tearing this place apart, and you're like, okay, he's got that, clearly. So you go into his closet, and you start checking around. And it looks like he's got like a shoe box, and it's got a little bit of latch, but you just jiggle it and it pops open. And he's got what looks like a portable lab kit in there.
Oh.
You're pretty sure he's not supposed to have that, because that's got some actual science equipment in there that, maybe that was technically some office theft, but whatever. He's dead now, and you don't care. But it looks like he's got, a portable... Is a portable lab a piece of equipment? I don't even know. Let me actually pop open the gear list and see if there's an analog for any other stuff that he might have in here, so I can put it in better terms. But basically, I'm imagining he's got a... Let's see, authenticated systems, or detection equipment, I should say. Some comm scanner. He probably has a foodstuff analyzer. Because that's the thing that checks if your food is safe to eat, which might be valuable to some stuff he does. If it, lets you check to see if it's not going to kill you right away.
Right away. Maybe later.
Yeah, I'll say that he's got a security sweeper. He swept his room for bugs regularly.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So he's got a couple of those, and he's got basically the equivalent of a hand scanner, but for chemistry stuff, so it's like a handheld chem sampler, so it's test samples of a chemical that's liquid or solid, test ground chemistry, that kind of stuff. Just a small portable version of his lab, and he's got a couple of sample vials and other things in there.
Okay.
Some rolls of flimsy-past paper for just handwritten notes, and you see another couple of those death sticks in there.
Actually, hang on a second here.
It looks like, if you wanted to guess, because actually, by the way, hold on, let me give you an image. So, according to the internet, this is probably what those 2 cases you found in his lab look like. They look like that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're brightly colored, I guess. If you had to guess, it looked like he was double testing, checking the results of some of those sticks.
Wait a minute. You said there was a chemical scanner in there, right?
Yeah.
Can we use the chemical scanner on those death sticks?
You can. What does it actually say about the hand scanner?
So secretly hidden the death sticks.
The what?
No, he had a negative tox report.
Well, no, see here, my train of thought is, if he's cutting these things to make them last longer, what is he cutting them with?
Okay. Well, I mean,
idea.
you can apply the chem scanner right here if you want.
Yeah.
Shit. What would this be?
Computers?
It shouldn't be like a hard check, because like this thing's like it's like a thing just does.
Well, you have to still understand the results.
Yeah.
to be able to
Here's the
actually
thing. Are
operate
you a
themselves.
chemist?
Yeah, fair.
I would
Yeah,
either
I'll
say
say that
the-
it's computers, or it would be a knowledge of some kind. I don't
Education?
know. Yeah, chemistry's probably educate. Yeah, I think general sciences is like education.
Yeah.
You might also spin Underworld because it's a illegal narcotic, but yeah. So, anyway,
Well, I'm not good at any of those things, but I'm gonna try anyway.
Kavis, we
Right.
need you.
I'll just assist.
Sweet. Actually, well, yeah, no, I'm gonna.
I mean,
So
you still,
that
four,
you
you still have
can-
4 and 4.
I will flip one.
Yeah.
Now it's 3-5.
I will do it on. I'll do it on computers. What will the
Okay.
difficulty be?
Average.
Alright.
It's a hand scanner.
All right,
I
cool.
don't have computers.
Well, you got big brain.
Okay.
All right, so that's gonna be 1 yellow, 1 green, 1 blue, 2 purple, and then I really do like this fucking automatic screenshot thing.
It is handy.
It is handy.
2 success with an advantage. All right, so you're primarily focused on, hey, what's he cutting these death sticks with?
Yeah.
So you run some tests. We'll say that he has, let's see, what's a good number? He probably he has 4 there. And he has some little labeled notes that you can probably cross-reference in a second.
Mhm.
But, so you test them all. So, the first one, which has a note with a date that's like 6 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
it tests as a bog standard uncut death stick compound.
Okay.
There's probably some like local modifiers that if you actually understood chemistry, you could probably like run down was like this made literally locally, the whole like you could do some serious actual real CSI shit, but you're not that skilled.
Nope.
But
Trying to locate a supplier.
but he has the whole thing in there. Is there good? How do you make him? Okay, so they're apparently based on side effects from fungals or something.
Shit, my watch is broken. Damn.
Oh well. Anyway, so it's got like the core ingredients that you use to refine the death stick. It's a fungal compound that's put through some extra chemicals and stuff and mixed in. And this is the first one, pure strain, undiluted. Perhaps he kept that as a control.
Yep.
Second one, it's cut with some probably inert mixing compound, so it's about 50% as strong, but he's doubling the amount of doses he had, basically. Yeah. And it looks like he wasn't an asshole about it. It's not like bleach or something. It's just probably mostly purified water and maybe some extra food coloring dye and some other inert compounds. All of it, which is like biodegradable, shouldn't like maybe an alien might have had a specific alien species might have had a bad reaction, but in general, it's not any worse than the death stick itself.
Okay.
Death stick number 3, or technically 4, but we'll do it as 3. Is the same as that second one. It's diluted, but now there's trace elements of some other narcotic compound it doesn't identify. And so you run down number 4, the last one. This is an undiluted death stick, but you're noticing there are chemical markers for additional add-ons when he got it, before it's diluted. So this death stick was pre-cut with something. You're not exactly sure what it was. You could take it to the medical wing and have somebody spin some centrifuges and do some shit on that. But
yeah, we might have to do that.
Basically just from the scanners, and so. And you look over all of his little, he's got, flimsa past, like flexible paper shit notes that he scribbled on. That looks to be what the effect of his notes are. He's like, there's a little bit of debate, like, he's still a scientist, so he figured out some stuff, but there's a little bit of debate, like, should he tell anybody that they're pre-cut, they're mixed, whatever? Should he determine the science? It seemed like he was kind of wondering if he should do anything about it. And the conclusion seems to be, nah, not really, he didn't care.
So he was on the trail of like some weird, something like shady was happening in the shady thing.
Yes,
double
so some kind
shady.
of add-on to this death stick.
Okay, well, we are probably going to have to tag these and take these down to get them scienced.
Yep.
Yes.
So
And
we'll
then I
mark that.
guess we'll. Is there anything else in the room?
Well,
I mean,
was
there's other room shit, but I already covered that. There's his clothes. The main things, if you didn't write them down, is the comlink and the comlink chips. His workstation, if you want to boot that up, but as we've established, none of you have computers, so you'd be awful at it.
We can make the yield attempt.
And he has a personal data pad that's been scrubbed a couple times, but might have some recent files on it. And he's got a hidden. Actually, I'm in the gear guide. I can look at it.
Comlink and chips.
So a bunch of
Yeah,
data
it is
to
Memstick. Okay.
scan. Also some data to scrub through, I guess.
Memstick.
It is Memstick with a hyphen.
Oh, I have that.
Non-powered
Yeah, I was
personal
about to
data
add
storage.
no hyphen.
Take samples to a lab. Well, I said I was working on the chemical analysis, so I guess you guys can grab some other things.
Yep. Okay. So
Those things are easy to get.
Okay.
Of course, they're easy to get axe. They're basically just USB sticks.
yeah, it's a thumb drive or an SD card.
I just
It's
didn't think
better
these would
just
be like
give-
easier.
Just give them over
It's
to
a space SD card. It's very tiny.
give them over to computer nerds.
Nerds!
All right, you can just turn that over to data, and they'll crunch it.
Yeah, I guess
Oh.
in like.
Well, actually, here's a good question. If you are going to turn over evidence, are you... This is a jurisdictional question. Are you handing it to your GAR buddies, or are you handing it over to the local security team?
Let's do the local GAR buddies.
Because technically, this is not a military crime. This should be civilian government, but they have shittier stuff.
Yeah, might as well keep it in house.
All right, so you hand it to like military intelligence and military.
So what are we handing
guys.
over?
The memstick and datapad.
You don't want to try it and look at it?
No, they don't. They don't have computers.
Yeah.
I'll try and look at it.
Okay, roll those dice.
I'm gonna roll them dice.
What specifically are you like? Just checking the data pad first, or do you want to like stick the memstick in it?
No, just datapad first.
Okay, roll. Actually, don't roll computers for this. Just it'll take you probably a couple of minutes to work through. It's been scrubbed recently. If you wanted to be like either try to recover files or like figure out the delete history or whatever, that would be a computer's check. And honestly, you may want to leave that for specialists with special tools.
Okay.
That like I don't know if that's the kind of thing that you just do on your own, just willy nilly, right?
Not. Probably not. No.
But skimming it, it looks like it's his personal data pad. It's a work. Technically, it's a work data pad also, because it's like you check, it's got a serial number, and you're like, oh shit, this came out of our like. There's probably much like you have your military storage. There's probably a lab storage section, which who knows, that may have been where they keep the guns now before. But it's got a Republic serial number. And you're like, oh hey, this came out of lab supplies. And if you, I'll save you the trouble if you run it down. It came out of lab supplies like 1,000,000 years ago. Like he's had this thing for probably like 10 years.
Forever.
It's old and really he needs to upgrade. Just you don't even use those connector ports anymore. We're on Memstick 3.0. This is still Memstick 2.0.
Sir.
Anyway, but so it's basically he's got like personal calendar. He's got some work files on it. He doesn't appear to keep a normal personal diary or anything like that. But it does look like he's got some weird calendar entries that are like, shit, what did we do? Was Hoax Place literally called the Hole in the Wall, I think?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's right, it was.
Hole in the
Okay, so
Wall.
it's like, 9 p.m., Hole in the Wall, drinks. Or 5 a.m., Hole in the Wall, repair alcohol filters. Like, basically, you're not an idiot. In fact, do you have intellect 3 or just 2?
2.
Yeah, you're still averagely intelligent. Basically, it looks like it's a cover. It's a coded ledger, quote unquote, for his actual like meetings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so he deletes it regularly so that there's no history of it, so it looks like a recent thing. But it's basically Tradecraft 101. It's got some of his meetings with Hoke and some other people. It's got his day-to-day like real life business on it and some other stuff.
Okay.
He's not dumb enough to be like, and to call my suppliers, I dial 555.
We're not playing a BioWare game.
No, he's not that bad. Though it probably has backup keycard codes to his room and lab in it.
Okay.
He saved his passwords on his device.
All right.
And has a slot for the memstick.
I don't trust slotting the memstick.
All right.
I mean, it's personal, so it's like maybe put it in his own data pad.
Well, as I said, if usually when you keep things separately on a memstick, that's because you basically want to hide that information. And as I said, if he's doing a bit of tradecraft, he might have putting some basic security measures on it. And as I said, I can't even get past basic security, so
Yeah, you guys are not code slicers. You know some though.
Yeah. So
He's a nerd.
yeah, so we'll back that up. Okay, well, we're gonna have to run by the chemical lab and the fucking computer lab. So,
Yeah.
All right.
So the science wing.
well, we still
it's
got the comm link and
basically
chips.
Yeah.
Okay. The comlink has had its call history scrubbed as basic, obviously.
Yeah.
But without needing to check, you check the chips and stuff, and just these appear to be basically, as far as I understand how some of these big comlinks work, is it's like they're just little data chips he uses to upload stuff to other people's data pads or comlinks. A couple of them are blank. One of them is like short text message files of the eagle laughs at midnight. Press 555. And it'll unlock the that kind of stuff. But also some of it's it looks like from your guess banking routing information. Like maybe he's giving people his space PayPal.
Well, he's gotta get paid for his work.
And there's probably some old chips that are oh, here's some chemical analysis. Here's a soil acidity report, etc. Now, theoretically, if you're being suspicious, there might be secret code embedded in there. But again, that's the thing where you're probably gonna need a specialist to look at that because you're I couldn't tell you a real soil acidity report from a fake one.
Let's give, I guess, the local slicer something to do.
It looks like basically he used the comlink for secure transmissions. He scrubbed his history fairly often, but he still had some shady shift left around. He had a Patreon. Lucky is no longer dragging this conversation. He may have ghosted.
Oh, damn. So, looking at what we've gathered so far, I do think it'll be a good idea to take some of these electronic items towards the more smarter people so they can hopefully figure this all out.
Yeah, let's give a local data analyst something
But,
to actually do.
I'd almost recommend we do that maybe towards the end so that way we can be there to watch over them just in case.
Because you want to stand there and look at progress bars?
Yeah.
I was just thinking we should let him do that and we do another thing and then we'll come back for the other thing.
Well,
honestly, Axe's method would use your time better because if you literally stand there, it's just okay, you're just going to stand over his shoulder while the montage happens.
It's
My
I
only
don't trust the guy, but can we just...
My only reasoning was because, someone managed to sneak in here and stab this guy. I would be concerned if something were to happen to the
Marth
people.
/ Kavis already suggested you should take it to your GAR team and basically take it to military intelligence. So those guys have guns and security checkpoints.
And also, martial training.
Yeah.
Sorry, I pictured something completely different when we said take it to the nerds, so...
Well, you said the nerd part, so...
No, you could take it to literally the members of the science team, but they probably don't. They don't have Solev is not known for its computers, so they don't have a comp sci department down here. It would be there's probably one guy or two guys in the base security team who are code slicers of some kind, as in they can access encrypted files and covertly access code and stuff like that, and know how to computer.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry, we were just discussing the merits, and Loth was worried you give some data to some nerds and they get stabbed, and I'm like, no, you'd be giving it to military guys.
They also have arbors.
Well, as I said, if these guys started, here's the interesting thing. If, I don't know how professional these guys are, but if you just start whacking off any and everybody does that just draws more and more attention down onto you.
Also, if they murder a military guy, it becomes our jurisdiction, so we actually have to put resources to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It depends on how professional or unhinged these guys are.
Yeah,
anyway,
pretty much
where
they
to
only go
next, guys?
I think the only one is the security.
Well, do we want to drop off these things real quick so the
let's drop that off first.
We were gonna give them to the team, give them to the guys, and then do the thing.
Because I think these guys are mostly in agreement. Is Aramaa in agreement with giving it to military intelligence, basically?
Yeah.
All right, so you pop back up to the military level, base control. You've got a couple of guys. There's probably a couple of Republic, Navy, or Army officers milling about. There's a couple of clones, and there's some guys, focusing some stuff. And you're like, hey, we found some weird shit. Look at this. So they will have their data guy will boot up the mem stick and be like, okay. He immediately tells you, oh, it's encrypted. So good job. You went to the specialist. He's gonna be like, okay, this will probably take me a couple hours. It looks like sure, it can be a clone. He's like, it looks like it's basic encryption, sir, but I'm pretty sure I can get through to it. Just give me a couple of hours. Poke some things. He starts randomly clacking some keys. And then, actually, this is a good question about the death sticks. There's another people you could ask, which is, you could also waylay the Jedi Service Corps members because you have some medics here.
I was thinking of that.
Okay, let's...
Do you want to do Jedi science to this, or do you want more of a military angle to the death sticks?
I'd rather go with Jedi science.
All right. So, how many of them are you giving them? Is it like...
I'll give them all four of the different samples.
All right, the different samples. Okay, you give them the small samples. This isn't like, and also we found some crates.
Yeah,
that'll take them way too long.
We'll leave those to go. Yeah, okay, they'll leave an evidence. So they're like, you hand him you speak to a Jedi healer. You hand him your note, his notes from before, and you're like, do you basically explain the whole thing of like what you found?
Yeah, basically, I need to know what's in these, and what compounds, and where said compounds could come from.
All right. Very well, Master Jedi. We'll examine this immediately. It's all very suspicious, but quite exciting. We'll get to it. They spin up the centrifuges, and they spin the whirligigs, and they get the Bunsen burners going, and they've gotten a limit in the background for some reason.
Yes.
So they
nothing like crimes. You bring everyone together.
Do science.
Sweet magical science.
So the song for this episode is "She Blinded Me with Science."
Yes.
Maybe. We'll see if someone gets blinded first.
So next, security system. So you go down the security checkpoint. What are you asking for? Just like there's a guy, he's a local. There's probably some clones, who basically do MP/base security duty, but there's a guy at the desk with a thing, or you just may punch me up the records for the night of the 25th.
Yes.
Okay. And it's Marth who's breathing in his microphone a little loud. That's what's going on. I'm pretty sure it's him.
Actually, that's Axe.
Is it Axe? You're lighting up all at the same time. Is it echoing?
It's because my mic's really sensitive and I'm just breathing. I can't help it sometimes.
Well, I mean, you can't help breathing.
Yeah.
True.
Just lean back a little bit when you're not talking.
Okay. So he punches up the records, the screen scroll through stuff. So as I said, you probably got I don't know, we'll say something like 99 check-ins that day.
Jesus.
It's yeah, got a bunch. Let's see here. This block he scratches off, maybe 10 names at a time. This was crew off a load shipment who came in. They were bringing a haul of clean water.
Okay.
We got another couple of craters, a couple of shippers worth of basic ration. Foodstuffs from further out.
Mm-hmm.
That all comes in because everything's got to be either supplied locally or we have to order rations.
Mm-hmm.
So there's water, foodstuffs, etc. There's crews for these either cargo haulers or some of them are even light freighters. But there's also handfuls of day laborers. You've probably got somewhere 3 or 4 dozen people who were not just workers coming in and out. Some of them would be locals looking for work. They're basically, they on their little form, because it's technically military. You guys want to make sure that nobody walks in a base and pops open the door to the command center and just starts shooting up the place with some E5 carbines.
Bang 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 bang. Roger.
The Separatist Alliance says hello, and he throws a bomb in there. You don't want that problem.
Yeah.
Though I do believe that weapon scanners are mostly tuned for like advanced shit like blasters.
Probably won't
Right.
find a ancient knife.
Not if the guy knew how to conceal it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these are mostly, like I said, like iterant laborers who are like, what's your business? I'm looking for work. So they are people who either they're here to work at one of the various support trades you have, because you do have a couple of like rotating slots of like janitors and cargo guys and like maybe a droid repairman who only works here for a couple seasons and then he's like, fuck it, I got my money, bye. So you do have some business rotation. Others will be local guides who are basically like, hey, they do science here, right? We'll just sit and wait for a scientist to need some help with a local and we'll go there.
Alright, so...
Local pilots, stuff like that. And just probably a couple of just sightseers who are just here. Some of them were probably on official business too, like, I need to update my tax form, I need to update my insurance records, whatever. Because you're technically a government center.
Okay, so...
You've got some names to cross-reference. What you'd probably find helpful is you got a lot of databases to look through, but technically the IDs would be photo-based. They're still physical ID cards.
Mhm.
But there would be flat images of these people. No, not hollow.
Mhm.
And he will just go ahead and tell you that nothing weird on the scanners. Like, nobody was... As far as he knows, there was no contrabands. And you're
Okay.
like, you're a fucking liar. I found the contraband already. But you'll deal with that problem later. And who knows? They probably don't take it through, like, the people entrance. It's probably another, like, slip it in through some cargo or some bullshit. Whatever. You'll solve the customs problem later.
Yeah.
Or you won't,
But-
and someday you'll get a crate full of droids.
I'll be great if we actually get a crate of just B1s and just all like, what do we do with these? We'll make them fight for us.
No, there was that one. No, I was thinking, like... actually, there was one episode where there was the assassin probe droids in the cargo hold, and you're minding your own business in the command center one day, and a guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, I don't know who said this, but we just got a crate for the Jedi," and then it just pops out. And there's just like a killer robot with claw hands. It's like, exterminate.
Oh god, some Daleks. Oh god.
So
At least
y'all might want to patch that security hole. Anyway, so there is a photo list if you want to. Not that you know what this guy looked like, but
what he was wearing.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got a fabric sample, but let's try narrowing it down.
Yeah.
So first off, like before we start
Yeah,
spending
it's-
hours looking over everybody, let's start with everyone from the time of the doctor's arrest to the time of his murder.
all right.
Indeed.
That sounds like a government thing. That's education again. Make me an
Okay.
average knowledge education check if you want to skim the records.
I'm going to try that.
I don't actually have education, but also I'm gonna just wing it on raw ability. How well can I govern? Wow, I can't government at all. I'm not even gonna post this. I just canceled out. I got 3 advantage and 3 threat. It just canceled out.
Aramaa looks at a screen and she's like, "Damn, I'm bad at this."
It's
The
like
I thought you
force
were about to
tells
say
me
she
that
looks
there
at
are symbols on the screen.
I thought you were about to say she looks at the screen and is like, yep, that's a screen, alright.
no, she looks at the screen and goes, I can't read.
I can't physically read. I can
Yeah,
only
actually,
just interpret through
does
magic eyes.
Can she read screens?
The force tells me the symbols on the screen.
Yeah, basically, it's like that. Like, it's
Uh.
not literally seeing.
Okay. I
Oh,
rolled.
That must
Kavis,
be-
once
that
again,
must be so
pulling his
weird.
weight.
Yes, Kavis is like, did you guys forget that we're technically part of the Judicial Corps before this army bullshit? I'm technically a space cop wizard.
Stop, wizard! This Padawan's putting me to shame, y'all.
He's putting
I
you
mean,
to shame.
He put
I
one
mean, you're-
point of knowledge at you.
I mean, he's battle experience. Your battle experience. He's just.
He's better at me than lightsaber!
Yep.
Three
What do you have
lightsabers.
over
I mean,
him?
technically, you have at least one rank in researcher. If you needed to actually do some science shit, you could.
Yeah.
And theoretically, actually, if you wanted to like take a crack at that knife, if it was a problem, you could actually reduce black dice because you have.
Yeah, I have
researcher.
negotiation leadership. That's what I have over the Padawan.
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, if you wanted to go
handle
talk,
people
if you wanted to talk to some people about some shit, but mostly this is just brain stuff.
Yeah.
Kavis' nerd pushes up his nerd glasses, which may or may not exist.
We have the angry nerd.
He's
We
not
have-
angry.
we
He's
have a
just
teenager.
eager to jump in. And occasionally that means hitting people. Anyway,
Push
3
yourself out
successes.
of the glasses.
Force classes.
3 successes. Yeah, so you're like, okay, cross-section time, cross-section date. Assume that they were probably minimally this height, so you're like, no super short aliens, no super tall aliens. No aliens with, like, 4 arms, you know. You narrow it down, and most of the population is human or humanoids. And so you scribble it all down, and you're like, okay. You got, like... probably I said you narrow it down to a dozen names, but I'll just go ahead and give you this one because you rolled an advantage. You scroll through, and you look up and look and yeah, okay, there's that ID, there's that ID, there's that ID. And then you scroll, and there's this... Okay, I mean, what's the best way to describe it? He's the His hair's cut short, his skin's really eerily pale, he's got big bags under his eyes, dead, cold, dead eyes. I said dead twice for a reason. Like, his skin looks a little splotchy and healthy, like he's got a condition, that's why he jumps out at you. And you notice that he's wearing kind of a black tunic with a hood down. It looks like honestly, it looks like it's just, you guys have been out in the villages recently, it looks like he's just wearing, standard-ass homespun, tunic, local plant fiber shit, but it's dyed very dark, and you pull up his little ID card, and you're like, wait a second, they taught me how to spot forgeries in Jedi crime school. I think that ID's fake. Because, like, the lines are, like, exactly like machine perfect, but the ink is, like, slightly discolored, and you're like, wait, this is brand new, but somehow it looks like it's old, whatever. You pick up a sign of a forgery, which normally would require, usually would require skullduggery, but I'd say that because it's a government document, knowledge works in this case. So you're like, that guy. Let's give him a name. Because obviously if the ID is fake, it's probably a fake name, but...
Man, we gotta call him something.
Mr. X?
No, he's not big enough for that. Mr. X is that guy...
I mean, this guy's probably like a
from the
solid
North.
2 meters.
I meant more of like the guy that was made of
Mr.
all muscle.
M. I don't know.
There's there's other things that use Mr. X. It's like
Just
the random thing. It's like,
I can't remember the name of the guy, but like the most invincible like bounty hunter in the war, like in the galaxy, was that like the guy that was made of like all muscles, tendrils, and everything.
What about John Doe?
No, that doesn't make any sense. You gotta say it right.
You guys know the guys I'm talking about? I can't remember.
Yeah, Dirge. I know.
Yeah, Dirge. But like, maybe like you call him Mr. X.
Like we're doing crime stuff. There's definitely the mysterious X.
Turned into the labs. Just writing on the notes.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled AP for name thinking up on.
Omega's probably...
He is Jarm Duel.
Hey, there we go.
Star Wars.
Jarm Duel.
Close enough.
By the way, that's DO apostrophe OH. Internet.
Go.
Jarm Duel.
It's so Star Wars it hurts.
Well, he
He's
had
like-
yellow skin.
And that guy's like, no, it's super pale. Though maybe there's some yellow in there. Might have a little yellow in his eyes. Maybe he looks a little jaundiced. You're not sure. You actually have medicine, so you might have some thoughts. And the customs guy is like, oh yeah, let's see. I think Billingham. That was Billingham's shift that day. He talked to me about the guy, weird, pale skin. Not much of a conversationalist. Just tucked his thing in and left. Big fella. Silent type. Didn't talk much. It says here on his form that he was just passing through, looking for a transit to somewhere else. Suddenly this guy is a southern sheriff deputy. I'm not quite sure where his accent came from.
That was
He was on a transit to crime.
Oh, that's good. I gotta write that down. Hold on. Sorry, I'm writing a holodrama script on my off time. It's very dull here, ma'am.
I understand. Can we get a copy of the picture, please?
Yeah, sure. Hold on. Let me print. Push the button.
Does it have, like,
You have a space
press.
Polaroid.
All right, cool.
Don't ask me how a space dot matrix made a space Polaroid, but
I was
did.
curious if they had like the weird confetti paper on the side, like the edges of it, or not.
Oh yeah, that's dot matrix. Yeah.
Things just got real quiet for me. I'm trying to figure out why. Solaroid.
I mean that.
I like it.
That's
Yeah, we just have a Solaroid picture.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank him. Honestly, I think this is all we really need here.
Yes.
So honestly, I think the best thing we can go do now is we need to go talk to people, and because we got a picture now.
Yeah, you can canvas.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there anything else? No, probably not. Like you could probably check from here, but you'd be asking anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, you want to know what gather info is?
What?
That's a charm check. Make me an
Sweet.
easy charm check.
I'm gonna do it.
I will give you a. We'll say that he prints out enough. That's why it took so long. You made 4 copies, so you can all have your own picture. So get a boost die.
All right.
Because eyewitnesses are bad, and so having visual references helps.
Yes, it does. All right.
What difficulty would you say this is?
Easy. I said.
It's easy.
Oh, easy,
easy.
charm check.
Yeah.
I mean,
have
he
no
did.
charm.
He does stand out.
Like, he does
Also,
have,
generally looking for info like this is an easy charm check.
Well, I actually
Hey.
got something.
I did good.
You do goo.
It is time to activate my Onason powers.
See, I'm good now.
oh wow!
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, finally, success. Oh, Jiminy.
Oh, fuck Christ.
Onason powers activate.
Look, he succeeds hard.
Okay,
So-
so let's
Oh,
We
say
find that info broker now.
this guy comes in on the evening boat. Probably, he's like, I'm just spending. Basically, he spent the night. He caught an airspeeder or something from one part to stopped in the base, went over the next one, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna track this motherfucker. Is what Aramaa says. And hey, guess what? She has 3 presents and has sense emotions, so she's really fucking good at this.
That's about mega power. That's a really dumb reference.
So everybody succeeds, I believe. at least one with some
Yeah,
advantage
the
and
worst
stuff.
we have is 1 success.
If you guys want to heal strain with that advantage, you can choose to. Otherwise,
I'll just
Again.
heal it.
yeah, okay.
Do I even have strain? Oh, I do, but I'm not healing strain. I need all my
No,
advantage.
you're going to
for it.
use that for plot stuff.
I'm using mine too, if that's
Exactly.
okay.
That's fair.
I'm healing mine.
So that just scratches off the lower amounts of advantage. That's okay. That's good. It's lesser, so you just have a relaxing time canvassing.
We
So
should
all
get,
of you
like, one of
basically,
those
with your basic level of success, build the basic timeline. He comes in at probably the equivalent of like 5 or 6 o'clock. There's regular, passenger air speeders up from one or more of the local villages, or even maybe the quote unquote big city, more Iriadu, which is like a large village basically. Probably has it probably has a similar population level to the base itself, just spread out in an actual township, and some other smaller villages. So he came up in the regular taxi there, had to wait for a transfer, spent the night. So
Okay.
you track him down. He comes into the port, your air and space port. He passes through customs. He says he's just passing through. He is seen at it's not even probably a cantina, but basically there's a dining area in the spaceport for you to get some packaged meals and eat between your trips, basically. He lingers there for a little bit, maybe hits the refresher. Nobody sees him eat or anything. He leaves. He wanders around. Some people probably remember, because they describe this guy as basically like, yeah, he was big, really gaunt, skin's kind of very pale, kind of patchy, weird dead look in his eyes, and he just kind of a little, maybe he's a little crusty. And then one guy's just like, he had a real awkward way of, probably some southern roadie in his, he had a real weird way of speaking, y'all. Like, real deadpan, like, hello, do you know the direction to, I am lost. Can you tell me how to find, they probably have like a dorm or a boarding house or whatever. There's a place where travelers can crash, basically. So he was actually lost or pretended to be lost. for a couple of hours until closer to the site, and he may even have wandered over to the security station, to quote-unquote ask for directions. And then you lose witnesses to him until probably something about, maybe an hour or so after the doctor is killed, where he shows up at the boarding house and crashes for the night and then leaves in the morning. First thing.
He's already gone.
Yeah, he left already. It's been a couple of days anyway, so.
Yeah.
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 So, let's see, let's split this up. So, Aramaa came out with different stuff. Camo, I'll say you go to the boarding house and you ask around and you're trying to, like, get your line on something. And, there's a lovely, nice, mature lady who's, like, the, hostess or whatever, who, manages the beds and stuff. And she confides in you that she was working that night, and she's pretty sure that guy didn't even sleep. Like, he just crawled into his bed and waited for, like, 4 hours until daybreak.
Whoa.
Like, he was real weird, but he didn't do anything other than that was strange, so I didn't think it was right to call security.
Did he ever respond with the words, Roger, Roger?
No.
Just making sure.
I can point you which bed he used, but it's been used a couple of times. I cleaned the sheets and stuff, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's not really a lead. That's just like a detail.
Yeah.
And he checked out first thing in the morning. And I don't know, maybe you can notice he had. Nah, I can't think of. Okay, I'm trying to come up for like a clue that could be like, oh, and he had personal effect with him when he came, but not when he left. But I can't really figure out a place where you realize that.
Yeah.
Aramaa, because I know you're talking to people, you're wandering around, you're asking people, like, did this guy eat, did this guy eat anywhere? Did he drink anywhere? Did he do anything besides wander around for a little bit and scope stuff out and stand around looking spooky? And you run into, you're minding your own business, you're asking stuff, and, you're standing by a potted plant.
Oh. This is
and
a
you're
suspicious plant.
You're standing around a corner, you're looking for somebody to talk to next, and a Godel kind of moseys up and leans against the wall behind you, pulls out a space cigarette, and he's like, "Psst, hey, Jedi lady."
I'll just lean back, I'll incline my head.
Hey, how you doing? Name's, what's his name again? Name's Lopak.
Hang on, let me... That's the info broker, right?
Yes. I knows things around here. I hear you asking about a weird guy.
I also hear that you know things.
Oh, Lopak knows lots of things. He knows lots of people. Lopak's got a lot of friends. Hope you don't mind that Lopak talks in the third person.
No, that's fine.
Oh, it fits.
He takes a drag out of his office, stick it to back. Lopak has heard things about you, Miss Aramaa. Yous was the one who busted up Hoke and his friends. Lopak would like you to know that he has no relation to any such businesses or premises. Lopak only deals in information, not hard substances. Though, if you want to know where maybe something fell off a speeder, Lopak could find that for you. Lopak is a little Christopher Walken. And I do this more.
It's meshing into it, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
slowly
just
morphing into Christopher Walken Goat Man.
Well,
But,
as long as Lopak ain't giving information that gets anyone hurt, this Jedi sees no reason to stop what you're doing.
That's good. Lopak is a loyal Republic citizen. I pay my taxes every year.
Good.
Though I don't know anything about what the Seps are doing, but I do know a little about. Maybe I know some things about this guy you're looking for, because I have some friends in some villages and some places, and maybe my friends are doing all right because some strange off-world types are now safely behind energy bars. So let Lopak take a look at that guy for you. He holds out a hand around the corner.
I'll be smooth. I won't even look. Just pass the
Right.
photo.
He takes another drag, looks at it, and he passes it back to you. Lopak remembers this man. This guy asked a lot of questions for a visitor. But Lopak did not recognize him, nor did he come to Lopak, which means that he's not, how would you say, a real local boy. I don't know if he's off-world or if he isn't in the business, but he was asking a lot of questions that you don't ask if you really don't know what's going on here. But he didn't ask me, which is weird. Most people know to ask Lopak. You always hear, you gotta find a nice restaurant, you want to find a nice place to take your date, you need a fast speeder or a fast starship, you come talk to Lopak. You want to know who's got the best algae burgers in the Republic Science Base, you talk to Lopak. Mm-hmm.
Do we want to change the title to Weapon of Choice?
It could be. Yeah.
Sorry.
If you walk without rhythm, you won't disturb the Scorpicanda. He's like, some of Lopak's friends saw this man and may have spoken to him. Lopak would like you to know that I believe he stepped down into the lower levels sometime after dark. I was asleep, of course. Lopak wakes early and goes to bed a regular time, like any productive member of society. He does definitely not up last night playing a late-night Sabak game. Though, if a Jedi lady wanted to know where the best friendly Sabak tables in the Republic Science Base are, or anywhere on Soha Live, Lopak could tell you that. He knows many things. But I do believe this gentleman disappeared downstairs at a certain time period and came back. And but I was talking to some peoples, Lopak was, and while Lopak does not trade in hard substances, unfortunately, some of his friends may abuse certain substances, and this gentleman did hang out with some of the stickheads in the underbelly for a little bit last night. I may have shot up with some death sticks, and before he went back up and did something. I don't know if that's like a thing or something. Anyway, if you wanted to find this man again, Lopak could ask his friends for you. But that would be a lot of friends that Lopak has to ask in a lot of places. So you would maybe want to keep an ear out for anything else that Lopak might want to know to tell his friends in return.
Aramaa will actually just make that sound and think it over. That's like, what does Lopak's friends like to know?
Oh, you know, the usuals. Well, one, if you find any place that has anything good, anything unique, you know, Lopak likes to drive local business. But, from a nice lady like you, maybe Lopak's friends would like to know, you know, mostly, is there any danger here, you know? You hear any stories about any guys doing stuff that, is maybe bad? Lopak's friends might want to know. They might want to get out of there. You know any stuff nobody's using for nothing? Or maybe where there's a lot of scrap, because you, crushed a lot of clankers there. Maybe Lopak's friends like to do a little scrapping, you know? Just the usual stuff. And, maybe if you know somebody who's looking for a little something that maybe Lopak could hook him up with, you know, somebody needs a new discount comlink, or somebody needs a new calf machine. Lopak's friends know where to find these things, and you could maybe tell them that Lopak knows. Lopak does take commissions. Basically, he's saying that, like, specifically Aramaa could tell Lopak, not sensitive, but military-leaning information, like, hey, we're about to have a giant battle here, so...
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking about that.
Or maybe, hey, we just had a giant battle over here, there's a shitload of busted-up droids you can melt for scrap metal.
Well, here's the thing, as I was going to ask, like, I do know we are planning to do a forward push. Like, how against regs is it to inform a qualified source?
I mean, okay, so on the one hand, that's not the protocol, but also, you are protocol. You're a general. There's, like, the only oversight to you is internal to the Jedi Order, and I guess the question, like, you know, if they were gonna hold, like, a Jedi investigation, the question would be, is your information gonna hurt anybody, basically?
Okay. Well, Lopak, in the celebration of our new relationship, our forces are currently doing a build-up for a massive push towards the... Hang on. I wrote it down for reasons.
Okay.
The Karlani Depression the Valley, where there's been lots of sightings of droids doing logging and exploitation practices. After the battle, there will probably be lots of scrap, abandoned machinery, weapons, all that things, and unfortunately, as understaffed and overwhelmed we are, we're probably not going to be able to get all of it taken care of.
Oh, don't you worry about that, Jedi lady. Lopak knows the greatest trash man in all of Soheliv. Do not worry.
Trash.
They love the environment Sohelivs do. They will clean it up free of charge.
Excellent. But Lopek, I don't want to see any of that stuff ending up on a black market anywhere near here.
Whoa. What does Lopak say? He doesn't deal in hard stuff.
Just making sure we understand each other, Lopak.
Lopak understands Jedi lady. He has seen his sometimes acquaintance Hoke in prison. Lopak may also have introduced Hoke to his lawyer, but as you know, I am a man with many friends.
Okay.
It's just a business arrangement. You understand, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and kind of be like. Also, though, I have heard maybe a story that a guy we both know, Dr. Gravanac, met an unfortunate incident, which may perhaps is related to mysterious, tall, zombie-like gentleman that Lokapak has been discussing with Jedi Lady. Now, obviously, I am but a concerned citizen, wondering how things are going. But, as I say, Lopak has many friends, and they traded many strange things. Is there anything else involved with this case that maybe Lopak's friends could look into? Because...
Do we have... I know we don't have it on hand, but can I do something to have an image of a fucking knife?
You have a data pad that's just yours, so yeah. You could probably call it
Hang on, so I'm gonna call it up. It's like, would any of Lopak's friends know what this is?
Oh, you are in luck. Lopak's second cousin, twice removed. Don't ask. It's an in-law thing.
I'm for having so much fun with this.
Mm-hmm.
Is an antiquities dealer. He may be able to make some certain inquiries about this. If you will allow Lopak, he will copy it to Lopak's data pad, and he will talk to some friends. See what he can find you about this mysterious implement of murder. Because Lopak has to be honest, he does not like mysterious gentlemen stabbing his Lopak's friends in the night. That is bad for business.
And you are a businessman, Lopak.
That's right, Lopak is a businessman. It has been a treasure doing business with you, Jedi Aramaa. Lopak now needs to see some friends about some Scorpicanda steaks.
I would like to change comlink codes.
Alright, sure. You can call Lopak whenever you need him.
Or Lopak can call me when he has info.
Have him on speed dial.
Great, now I have taken my first steps into the sea underworld. Great.
It's all for the greater good.
Right, there's a little... Yeah.
Lopak, stamps out the ash of his tobacco stick, throws it in an appropriate trash receptacle, and just blends into the crowd.
At least he doesn't litter.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Now, Lopak is a professional.
I really do like Lopak.
Yeah.
All right, well, now we just got a bunch of things in the oven that we need to wait to get back. The only other lead I think we really have right now is going to the underworld to maybe find those drug users.
Right. Let's just see what resolves first. I'll roll a. Can I do? Let's do a D3. 2. We'll call 2 death sticks.
Okay.
So, Aramaa, your comm code beeps. You guys have been canvassing for probably a couple of hours.
Alrighty.
And in fact, maybe you take a lunch break after that first, and then your comlink beeps.
More algae burgers.
Yeah.
But it's the Jedi doctor lady you left the death sticks with, and she's like, Master Aramaa, we've had some very interesting things with those samples you brought down.
Oh.
I believe these could be potentially sensitive. We should discuss it in person.
Oh. Very well then. I'll be over to the labs. I'll be over to the labs shortly.
Circle wipe. You're to the labs.
Oh, not a star wipe?
No, it's a circle wipe this time. So there's some computer equipment there. There's the samples. You do notice that the liquids seem a little bit smaller. They seem to have actually extracted and used up some to do some more detailed chem analysis. But the nurse is there, kind of minding her business. She's probably an older lady we've talked about, the one who, gave Kavis his lollipop. And she's like, yes, Master Aramaa, we've got some very interesting things you found. So the one labeled 1 was a standard issue death stick. Based on chemical analysis, I believe that it was refined from the... She would probably use the actual term for this. We could wander that around and see if I can find that again. The whatchamacallit in the death stick. It's... yes. Acetylsalona fluid.
Back.
Welcome back.
Basically, based on local chemistry, I believe that this, it's an extract of a certain form of fungus. It has been mixed normally into this with certain activating and coloring agents, the normal pharmaceuticals. That does require some sophisticated lab equipment. I do not believe it was done here. You need a dedicated large production facility to turn the fungus into its refined form. Anyway, it's sad but fairly normal. Second one is diluted with some purified water and inert compounds, as I believe you in the notes discussed. Otherwise, it appears to just be a different version of sample number 1. Sample number 3 is the same thing, but it is a dilution of sample number 4, which, as you noted, has those unusual chemical markers. I'm going to be honest. While mostly in a medical and healing field, though I've occasionally done lab analysis before, just because there's nobody else to do it, I've never quite seen these compounds before. But it's so normally. A death stick, it's a... Actually, what actually is technically their compound? They're listed in the gear as hallucinogenic, I believe. Yeah, so basically, yeah, it's a mild hallucinogen.
Okay.
She basically describes the effect. It's a mild hallucinogen and euphoric. Though, normally, the reason why they are called death sticks is because they have a dramatic shortening effect on your lifespan.
Oh my.
And normally, they are physically and psychologically addictive as you require higher and higher doses. The normal dread elements of substance use. Horrible. This one has additional additives. It's an unusual strain that I don't... I believe that these have been maybe historically tracked, but I'm not sure. We'd need to call maybe a central database back on Coruscant. But...
Oh my.
To double check if this particular substrain has ever been seen. But I believe it has additional mind-affecting narcotic effects, which would affect the psyche of a subject, making them potentially more suggestible or possibly even more catatonic. I'm not sure. But they're much more addictive and psychoactive than normal, and I believe that they might even have a more dramatic effect on the physical subject. Possibly leading to major organ damage, including possibly external effects, skin, teeth, hair, that kind of thing.
Like messed up skin.
Like, well, the hair on the back of my neck is rising.
Yes.
Like what happened to the guy we're looking for.
But yeah, basically she's like, okay, so normally these things are... It's basically, I've described it before as the space equivalent of heroin, right? Like, it's a cheap, shitty drug that kills you very, very fast, but it makes you feel good about your life while you're dying. This has got, like, weird psychoactive shit in it that, like, is gonna affect your ability to, like, perceive reality and, like, your trust centers and all that shit.
So, like, indoctrination shit.
Well, yeah,
possibly.
so basically people on this drug will be more susceptible to suggestion and whatnot.
Yeah, more susceptible to suggestion, possibly indoctrination, that kind of stuff. Or interrogation, you're not sure.
Like cult stuff.
Like, she would tell you that in order to fully understand its side effects, she'd have to do, like, a full-blown clinical trial, but she's not doing that. That's nuts. We're not doing that.
That's
That's
not
dangerous shit.
Susceptible to suggestion and indoctrination. Okay.
It might be the guy that sent, but...
Well, no, if the guy is under the effects of said drugs, that means someone told this man, probably, to go here, kill this man, and go for it.
Which
You don't have any knowledge. None of you have knowledge of Underworld in any form, do you?
No.
No, I probably shouldn't give you, like, special facts or anything. It's not a role thing, I'm just wondering if you guys had prior experience with Underworld stuff, you might know things about how gangs or death cults or drug dealers work, but you don't.
Oh,
so.
right.
Can I take a shot in the dark?
Or death cult? Oh,
What's your
shit.
shot of dark? Also, yes, death cults are totally a thing, especially with drugs, even in real life.
No, just roll knowledge underworld. Like
I said, it's not a roll thing. It's like just you could have some conclusions about if this is similar or not to normal underworld activity if you know, but it's not really like it's not a big enough deal for a check.
All right. Oh, then okay. So we have additional psycho, and they're not able to. And they said they're basically not able to fully identify what the substance is, just its effects.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she can track what the science is pretty advanced in the distant future past of Star Wars, so they can like tell you what the chemical receptors do, like what they affect in your neurochemistry and stuff, and what all that works. But she's like, I haven't exactly identified. It's a unique chemical that I don't know. It's not in our database here. I'd have to like she said, she'd have to get some big science on this, but that might take some time if you're gonna do that.
That's something later.
Well, I'll ask her if she can get started on the big signs, but no worry about expediting. Just get to it when you can get to it.
Very well. I'll put in a request with a sample to be shipped to Coruscant for further analysis. The Jedi archives will know, I'm sure, even if the whatever big space university of Coruscant, which probably has a name that I don't remember right now, and I'm not going to look up because we've been going for how long? For almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Of recording time, and I'm like, I want to move on.
Yeah. All right, so
We need to get this whole plot there finished before we finish there.
okay. So, I'll thank her for her time, thank her for the information. If she finds out anything else, please let me know, blah, blah, blah.
She nods and gets kind of like, you should be, if this substance it appears to be pre-additive to the cutting, but if they've been doubling the doses of these recent death sticks, and slipping them into the population, I don't know how widespread the addiction problem is. And she would probably make sure to note that while it's a little expensive, it is technically possible to treat death stick addiction, normal death stick addiction anyway, with medical treatment. And you had her analyze the direct source, so she could probably figure out something to that, but that would require budget. So maybe you want to drop some lines at the next budget meeting about that kind of stuff. Like, but if this is widespread entering the market, as it were, we could have serious ramifications.
Great. All we wanted to do was stop a little black market, and now we've become a drug cult conspiracy. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, that was already kind of there beforehand, but yes.
No. Axe. We were just trying to figure out. We were just trying to stop a guy who was so bored to stop dealing drugs.
I believe Axe is
murdered.
talking about in the meta text.
Yeah.
That like this plot thread may or may not have existed the whole time.
Yeah.
I'll never tell. But
I mean,
though yes, he has a point that in character technically this existed already. You've only just now discovered it. Boy, howdy, it sucks.
Yeah, we just
flyers,
discovered it.
So like, there's so we have a drug cult to deal with.
All hail the mighty weed.
No, it's the death sticks, which is even worse.
I might want some fucking space weed. Fuck.
That's not lethal.
There's some narcotic herbs, but that's mostly for mostly Hut's pipe smoke some stuff. They got some dank Hut pipe weed, my dudes.
I'm good. Let's get some incense. I'll meditate later. But for right now,
there's probably some serious business dark juju incense if you want, or you could huff ashes of Malachor.
No.
You don't want to snuff Sith mummy dust.
No.
What the hell?
I'm not shitting you.
I mean, people have eaten mummies, like British people have eaten mummies in the past for like as like weird medical purposes. So,
Are you kidding? Yeah. People used to have people pay people to blow smoke up their ass.
That's not a joke, but no, ashes of Malachor.
So
that's some like dark side player shit.
So
no, there's all kinds of fun shit you can do. Actually, also as a note, you guys, well, at least not only do you not want to do death sticks normally, but also taking death sticks can inhibit your force connection. So,
right.
Actually, you know what? That's probably a detail. So, she would say normally death sticks, because they're mind affecting, they can dampen your ability to sense the force. These boosted death sticks appear to not have that side effect. I'm not going to say that it strengthens your connection to the force, as that is a very how should we say, inexact science. Just that anyone who was a Force user who came into contact with this version of the Death Stick would not have as much of an inhibited effect.
Oh, so a dark side cult. Okay.
Maybe. Great.
So many problems.
So many
time.
problems. Okay. This has gone bigger than I thought. God damn it.
We have to actually get the budget on this now.
Well, as I said, they're probably
It's
going to...
almost like I'm forming multiple through lines through the entire campaign.
Stop that.
And fighting drug-dealing dark side cultists might be a whole thing.
Oh, God.
Maybe after we stop the droids. Can we have
to do it at the exact same time. Great.
God. Oh, God.
We have timers. We have timers in motion.
We have to keep bouncing between these, like, each thing, I guess.
We do. And at some point, we might just say we have to let this go cold.
And then
Who knows?
Suddenly, I mean, hopefully they're off planet, or they're on separate
they're
planets.
definitely-
We'll
definitely
find
off
some
planet.
shit out. Anyway, let me...
Actually, Loth, you say that. My friend actually had a
I should do Polly, sorry.
plan that the midichlorians was actually a side effect of the Force. Like when you have HIV, your white blood cell count differs.
Honestly, that's
that idea
probably
better.
how George meant it, but also maybe he meant it in some, like, swiftly tilting planet, wind in the door type shit.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
The author's name escapes me at the moment, but that series, which is real weird and real sciencey.
You have to explain to me, like, off mic.
Well, I can look up the author. It's Madeline L'Angle. That's right. You've never heard of those? A Wind in the Door. What's
Sadly,
the
no.
first one they keep trying to make? A Wrinkle in Time. That's right. That's the first one they keep trying to make into movies.
Oh, that, okay.
Yeah, that
All
series.
right.
The first one is all about space and shit, but the second one is A Wind in the Door, and that's like microscopic mitochondria stuff.
And some Christianity there on the side.
Why is an alien in there? But yeah, whatever. It's a whole thing. And they do other stuff at different points.
Okay.
Anyway, next up, because I rolled a 1, is Memstick. You get a bloop bloop from the security clone. He's like, General, I've cracked the Memstick.
Oh,
What would you
excellent.
like to see?
Yes.
All right.
We go over and the mystic is actually physically cracked.
Now
Sorry.
now there can be a star wipe.
Yay!
So you're all standing around the display, and he's got the Memstick with him. Oh, it wasn't too you kind of clone cracks his knuckles, and he's like, "Oh, it wasn't too complex, General. Just just a 16-bit rolling encryption key code, based on the genetic of an obscure monkey frog from Sohaliv."
So, someone just imagine the text line, what he just said, and throw it over Arama's head. Because that's just what fucking happened.
Yeah,
I missed
you
half
don't
of
care.
that.
He's just trying to sound cool.
Fucking monkey frog.
Anyway, cracked it. It's a database, the file list, normal stuff. It looks like these. I'm gonna stop doing an accent, and basically, here's what's on the memstick. Banking information. Lots and lots of banking information, lots and lots of copied transaction records. It looks like this is his ledger. He pays out to people, gets paid into people. There's also probably some, you could probably backtrack this to be like, this is also how he checks his supplies. So when he buys, purified water and other inert chemicals, when he buys food dye, whatever he's using to cut the stuff with, all of it's recorded in this, which is why he kept it hidden. But also, he was not an idiot. He was actually quite smart. He was a doctor. He kept records.
Okay.
So the obvious is here's evidence that one, this would probably help with the Hoke case, because here's evidence that Hoke paid him to do things. Not what he paid him to do, but payment records.
Still evidence.
But also, the key point here is probably that some of these payment records connect to the suppliers.
Dun dun dun.
Here we go.
So you could probably, again, that's probably not something you guys are suited for, forensic accounting, but you could pass that to somebody, and in a couple of sessions when you decide to pick this plot up again, somebody could be like, oh yeah, we tracked the money trail to these people.
Should we send all this data to, some more like interstellar cops or something.
Hi,
Well-
you are the interstellar cops.
Yeah, we probably have to send
okay.
that up. Oh.
I meant like their drug cult division or something.
He's not like Camo's not, but like as we've said before, sometimes it's a joke. The Jedi Order is technically appendixed to the Republic as part of the Republic Judicial Department. So the Jedi Order is an extension of the court system.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, yeah, this is not an interdepartmental thing. So I don't know. You could call Space Vice cops, and this can be Soholiv Vice.
No, as I said, honestly, we can't do anything much with these records. We have to pass them up.
Yeah, we have to pass them up.
Okay.
We'll pass them up to fucking Spice Cops.
That is
Actually,
accurate. That is technically accurate.
Yeah.
Legit. Spice.
Spice cops.
We gotta deal with like a spice cult.
So yeah, we're just gonna have to pass this up through the Jedi lines and be all like, yeah, we need to find these people because they might be dealing in fucking psychoactive death sticks that don't fuck with the Force. That has implications.
Which means like dark side cultists like learning Force powers will hide.
Okay. Okay. Camo, do you know what the fuck a dark side is?
I was saying that I was like out of character. Okay.
Alright, but you jump to a lot of conclusions out of character that your character has no fucking way to do,
I was just saying
because
that
I
as- I
know
was saying that
your
we,
knowledge skills
as-
are awful.
I was saying that as Axe, like as Axe the person.
As
That's
Boots,
fair,
you
but
probably feel
still,
like,
it's
wait,
just like
you
one of
have
those
six
things
to
of
do
like,
that?
you gotta remember, right now, in current timelines, most of the Jedi, including like the Jedi Council, is just all like, dark side, whatever, they're gone.
Well, I mean, the
Like-
dark side, the Jedi Council knows that Count Dooku has definitely fallen. Because he
it's all
fucking
fallen,
shoots
but-
lightning out of his
Right.
hands.
Or was he
but-
ever fallen to begin with?
I just
But they're still
yawn
like, it's
during
still,
the
they're
whole
still overconfident, I want to say.
Yeah, oh yeah, clearly. Because,
This year.
like, well, so Master Yoda's been tracking this Sith Lord guy, for, like about 20 or whatever Anakin Skywalker's age is minus 9 years, because since the Battle of Naboo, they've been like, Sith, always 2 there are. Don't ask me how the fuck I know that. Or ask me the fuck not how I know. Actually, no, it would be how I know, ask me the fuck not, Yoda. But they're probably pretty sure that it's it's at least now Count Dooku / Tyrannus. Now they know this, but I don't think Aramaa knows that. Like,
No.
You know that as a leader, Count Dooku is one of the lost whatever. I don't know, it might be 20 something. There's a number of Jedi who in the most recent revision of the Jedi Order just straight up fucking left. Like, they weren't kicked out or anything, they just left. Which Count Dooku is one of them because he disagreed with the Order about stuff. And it's probably come out as part of your briefing package 101 that, hey, yo, he's got a fucking red lightsaber and he shoots lightning out of his hands now. Big red flags, as Gift says. Like, that's... So, there's that. And maybe you've heard of, like, Ventress, his assassin, who's, like, a dark acolyte, but, like, probably not a real... Maybe not a real full-blown Sith, but, like, there's some Dark Jedi shit going on. But no, like, the clones don't know that. That's not in the briefing package.
Anyway, I'm not drawing any conclusions, but I do
Yeah.
want to get this up to where I can.
Yeah, just throw it up there.
Alright, that will continue to be much like the thing with, like, the alien ruins or whatever and structures. That will
Right.
continue to percolate in the background until it's relevant.
Okay, so, slap the clone on the shoulder. Good job, my man.
Thank you, Jim.
So now,
Juice.
all right. So the only thing that recalls to me is that what was his fucking name?
Which one?
I wrote it down.
Which one?
I wrote it down.
Lopask?
No.
That is not how you
Jarmdo.
pronounce Lobach's
Jarmdo.
name. Jarmdo.
When-
That's right.
Jarmdo went
yeah.
down to some drug users and hung out with them for a bit in the underbelly or the underworld, the literal underworld.
Yeah, he shot up some drugs.
Like, as far as I know, that's our only real lead, but, this is kind of my feeling. We're probably just gonna find a bunch of blitzed up people who probably don't know actually shit unless we beat them up.
I can do that for you, General.
Sounds good.
No,
Sounds like
we
actual
don't
work.
need to beat up drug addicts.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, we just interrogate them.
if we go down there and stir up some shit, they're going
We
to
don't
shit
have
with
to,
us.
but we always could.
Well, no, like, because here's the thing. The guy left, and he's gone. So
Yeah.
that's something we can determine. Like, I am 90% sure this was the guy who did it. Like,
Yeah.
all
He
evidence.
left.
So basically, what we need to get back to is we need to know who this guy was and where he's from, and the knife. And we have Lopek on that. And we also have the banking information, and they're trying to track that down, which is also time. We're on fucking timers again right now.
Yeah.
The other thing
Oh,
It's
that
like
time.
Apocalypse
we
World.
look into as well is
So,
how the base
basically, try just
Honestly, like,
Track down
unless,
right.
like, guys,
Like, I'm
Like,
gonna be real
I
with
could,
you. There's no skill check to, like, if you literally want to go look for junkies, you can go do that. But I will tell you, you would know from the outline they were probably high on death sticks, and they're
Mhm.
probably not good for anything. At best,
Yeah.
you're gonna get some weird cryptic junkie shit.
We should
Which,
probably just
hey,
start
I was
making
gonna
like
mention
a
was,
rehab
like,
program.
when he went, as mentioned by the security officer, when he arrived, he said he was seeking transit somewhere. So maybe we can look into how he left the base. If he left from the front entrance or via some kind of transport somewhere.
that's a good idea. If we at least know maybe where he was getting travel to, maybe
I
we
mean,
can...
you guys, some of you rolled decently successful on your canvas. So I
Yeah.
would say that, yeah. And actually, technically, we can say that Camo found that earlier because he was the one who was at the back end. So you were like, you got from the hostile lady basically when he left, and were like, hey, what transport was that? And it was the 5 o'clock to somewhere, one of the towns. I don't have a lot of town names built up already.
Journey. Well, I'm gonna play me some Journey.
Sure, fuck it. We'll say it was to Moriiridu, the biggest town, which is weird because that was the place he came from.
Which means we can get Lobeck to like tell us if anyone saw anything.
Well, yeah, like, honestly, if we go to Molobeck, we probably aren't gonna find much, because that's a lot of places, and...
It is a big city.
That would
So-
be a separate session's worth of plot hook if you want to
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
so you're investigating the death. That would be like hunt the murderer. But we can add that to the mission
Yeah.
list. But it's still technically, I don't know.
Right.
If I can put it in the regular rotation now, or I can put it in the back burner for next batch.
I say we put it in the next batch, because as I said, we gotta, like, honestly, I think we're at the point
Because
of...
also, here's the other thing. In case you
We have a
in case you
lead,
guys
but the
forgot,
trail's uncool.
one of your other bullet points is you're having a weird disappearance and overdoses problem.
Oh yeah, that.
I wonder if they're related.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
of
we
this
should-
investigation may give you a head start when you decide you want to attack the drug problem.
I mean,
Yeah.
besides the rehab program, we have to start making. But yes,
Well, that could be part of the attacking the drug problem. I don't know.
Well, yeah, as I said, we have to free up money for that, and we don't have a lot of that.
so I think after the
Right.
invasion, we'll have to have a budget meeting.
Like I said, I think we said we have to wait for the build-up of forces, and
Yeah.
that's probably going to be in the next couple days. I don't know. How long does it take?
A number of days. We didn't really specify.
So
Yeah.
Like
You wanna,
honestly, you
like-
guys are probably ready to roll at a moment's notice, but it's more just like, okay, we need to. All right, we have the force plan, like our force deployment plan. We need to allocate this many transports to haul heavy shit. We need this many guys in them. Blah blah blah, and just kind of like break down the whole thing.
Okay.
You probably need a high-level strategy meeting at some point, which would probably be the intro of that session. Would be like, okay, we're gonna plan the attack, and then we do it. You,
Bump up my knowledge of warfare.
yeah, basically.
Okay. So, excuse me. But, like, unless you guys have any other leads you want to think of, I think we can call this case not closed.
this
Suspended.
Suspended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's
Put
like it's
on
not
hold.
it's mixing with another
Jason.
case, which is sort of like
This
Is there
case was
maybe a
put
cause?
on. The thing's just put on hold.
We're gonna put
Yeah.
it in suspended animation.
All
Take
right.
all the
Okay.
physical evidence, put it.
Well
in the
then,
freezer.
before if you guys are, which could make sense because we're at over, like quarter to 3 hours here, so it could make sense to call off. I can say that the final thing before we do EXP and stuff,
All right.
is probably later that night after dinner, because you got a little com code. Aramaa gets a little call from your friend Lopak.
Hey.
And he's like, "Hello, Jedi Lily. This is Lopak. Lopak has talked to his second cousin, twice removed. And maybe an extra might have removed. You don't remember. It's weird. It changes every time. He would like to. Lopak has learned from him, and Lopak would like to tell you that this is a funerary dagger from the moon of Bogdan known as Kolma, aka the funerary moon. Lopak's cousin told him a lot of stuff, some of which was boring, but the short version is that this moon is covered pole to pole in grave sites on account of that weird, horrible war thing that happened in the Bogdan system. And so they have a lot of these funerary goods and ritual things and knives. Apparently there's quite a lot of them, so they are sometimes a collector's item. But Lopak would like to let you know that he does not deal in grave robbing. Lopak may have some cousins he can talk to if you're interested in that, but he doesn't do that himself.
Alright. Thank you for the information, Lopak. Was there anything else you had?
That is all Lopak has on this knife at this time.
Okay. Let me know if... Alright, thank you, Lopak. Let me know if you find out anything else.
Lopak will let you know. And Lopak will let you know if he finds any good deals on anything.
Thank you, Lopak. Funerary daggers. Rituals.
It's a legit message.
Well, now we have to look up properly the fucking... What was the name of the moon again?
Kolma, Moon of the Dead.
It sounds like a pulp novel already.
I was about to say, sounds like the title for like a House of the Dead series.
Yeah.
Moon of the Dead. Well, that's a research topic for later.
That also sounds like an
You
adventure.
can actually
Literally, like,
research.
sounds like an adventure place.
We must
Yes.
do research.
Maybe once we get off the soul level, we'll have to
But
deal with like
I
hunting.
think lucky a lot.
Implying a lot of
Okay.
leaving Soho.
Just for the people who just for the people who couldn't see text chat, I literally said it's literally a dead planet.
Yes.
Moon, but you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's-
Dead moon.
They had
Okay.
They literally had 1,000 years of war. They needed a place to put the bodies. They put a lot of bodies there. They had a lot of body stuff because that's what happens.
Instead of 100 years war, they had 1,000 years war.
Okay.
Marth,
What?
you trying to say something?
I'm just like, so much talking is just like, this is last thing.
Oh, yeah. I think Marth wants his XP.
I am in this tired
Okay,
stage.
all right.
Okay.
Again, I'm so sorry
You
for
can
waking
let
up
it- yeah.
late.
You can let
I
us know
really
that,
wish-
but okay, let's move on. Okay, so you found the guy. You figured out who done it. You figured out how done it, and maybe you figured out why done it. So we'll call that 15 EXP.
E.
Did anybody hit any particular motivation-y dues?
I doubt it. Mine was the mission, but that doesn't matter. This one. And also, like, just the mission. Drive, so.
That was trusting people
I just do it
to
on
do
fast.
stuff.
No, most of you guys investigated. We can call it 15.
Yeah, it
that's
was
fine.
it was mostly just trusting others to do what they do and others trusting me.
Well,
Because, look, I was like, hey, I'm just going to help out Aramaa because I think Aramaa can do this better than me.
that is true. There were a couple times when you did explicitly assist her rather than roll yourself.
But I don't think there were any times that people were assisting me.
Aramaa was helping a few times.
Okay, so Aramaa
And,
helped.
Boots as well.
Okay.
Well, so yeah, the motivation is that you have faith in your friends and family, so you believe in them to like do stuff for you and watch your back and so on.
Yeah.
So you assisted Aramaa, and you could have rolled checks on your own in that case, which maybe you would have done better because you're just as good as she is at a lot of this stuff, if not better. So we'll say that you can get your 5 for that. So I guess the question is then basically just next time, what do you want to tackle?
Sorry, I ghosted at that point. Did we already pass through motivations?
Yes, we're
Yeah.
basically asking about
Okay.
if anybody else hit their motivations.
Mine's people are counting on me. Would you say trying to solve a murder and particularly unravel a death cult that may be giving people, what's the word I was trying to think here?
Brainwave drugs?
Brain rape, yeah, brain rape drugs. Me working against that would count as people counting on me.
I mean, yes, but I don't think you really. The thing about motivations is you have to like actively really engage them. So I don't think you went necessarily above and beyond the plot hook, basically, to like get in there and look at it. You worked the case, but there hasn't been an opportunity necessarily for you to go, no, people are counting on me. We must do this.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. That's okay. I think only Marth got his, and that's just because he did actually, at several points, not roll himself and assist you or other people instead to show faith in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like...
and
that's why he was doing all...
We'll skip conflict for this session, too, because we didn't really engage in anything.
And didn't engage in anything, so nothing really done. I'm still at 97.
My notes are becoming long.
That's okay. Maybe you guys will.
I'm amazed that our war game also now has become where we're dealing with spice cults.
Well, that's the thing
spice
about
cults are war.
Yeah, war on drugs. Hey, we're back to the 90s. Dare, baby.
That was also that's a very okay.
Winners don't use drugs.
I'm just imagining all the fucking posters Aramaa's gonna make.
We also didn't talk to the guy that had the militia, but they'll do that when we're looking at missing people.
Well, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't immediately relevant.
Yeah, but
so you still hold on to those guns.
I guess our thing now is we're gonna have a war session, then a investigation session to just keep bouncing between them. I guess.
Well, yeah, we need to.
Depends on what you're doing.
As we're trying to juggle plot lines here.
Yeah, because that's the thing. If you watch Clone Wars, it's not all war all the time.
Yeah.
There's sometimes senators are murdered, or sometimes there's political intrigue, or sometimes there's underworld shit.
Maybe we'll get off.
Yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes of the Clone Wars, so I saw this stuff with the guy just flying on top in space on top of the thing with no air stuff.
He's got a bath mask.
Yeah, he had that mask on. I was I can just handle the pressure for a few minutes.
Yeah. Actually, I believe that Keldor can. Because they require a breath. They're given a breath mask at character creation because they don't breathe oxygen and they can do a little bit of vacuum. Anyway, so, like I said, I was just going to lock in. Our next plot hook is the ground assault, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will make sure to prep for that one.
And then I guess after that, we'll maybe do some archaeological stuff, and then maybe
you'll decide then.
Yeah.
So, hold on, let me format text.
Actually, I should get. I think I'll get Clanker Killer now because I think that's probably.
Oh yeah, and I think with the control for throwing objects is just discipline.
Yeah, you have to make a discipline check because you have to make it basically as part of a combat check.
Okay, now I'm going to spend 10 points to get discipline to 2.
Okay, spending the 15 points to get knowledge warfare to 2 because it's a not class skill.
Okay. All right, I'm going to cut the recording. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and all that. Bye.